Hello.
It's your boy Vin in the house.
Sori here.
Sori in the house. And
I was gonna say we have a badass lineup. This time we know because we recognize the names of the band.
We know all the we haven't heard any of these songs, but we recognize the names of the band. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be fun. This is for the Sin and Glory Alliance. You guys have heard us talk about alliances before. So this is for the Sin and Glory Alliance.
Yeah.
Headed up by the big homie Christopher Culp, who you see on this side where it says Hail Culpy. Hail to the homie. I think this is a record for us. Only 15 minutes late.
Excellent, excellent.
We're on the way, ladies and gents. We're on the way. As soon as Culpy gets in here, we're going to start. But how's everybody's doing? How's everybody's December going so far? Slipknot 2K in the house. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, buddy.
Let's see here.
Nothing like some water.
Oh, I'm not going to make one of my deadlines, so remind me to talk to you about that later.
Is it food related?
No.
Or is it business related?
Business.
Oh, it said chopping up that video?
Mm-hmm. And the fudgy thing is late today, too.
Don't worry about it. We're square.
Thank you.
Becky in the house. What's up, Becky?
You know when I said chopping, remember you said that stream that was, you said it's going to get blocked, and it did? Mm-hmm. That one. I haven't chopped it up yet.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I can chop it up too. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool. All right. We're going to make a thumbnail.
Good to see Becky in the house. Haven't seen you here in a week or so, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Becky, have you followed through on my commands, my statutes and laws and decrees?
Right. His word is law.
XBM, what's good, XBM? What's good, XBM?
What shall I do for a thumbnail?
That's a good question. Oh, you going through a lot right now? Lost my happiness. Middle Earth is great. Sounds like a great stream. Working so I can watch when I can. I'm not going to comment on whether or not I've watched the videos because we already had a deal, young lady. So I'm not even going to comment on that. Follow through on your end of the bargain. Then we can talk about the other stuff.
Your
Weirdo.
best interest is at heart.
She knows that. Mm-hmm. She knows that. She been crazy. She know that shit. She knows it. At least you're honest, Becky. Although, I mean, there's ways of validating that thing. So,
right.
You only get 5. DJ Franco, 3 days in a row. Shout out to Ralph Carr.
You know what I like about having you here, Mike, is that whenever I sneeze, I'm always guaranteed to get a God bless you.
Yeah, it's true. He's always up on that shit.
For some reason, I don't know why, that's always been important to me. Doesn't really make any sense, but it is. So I appreciate it.
That's one of those vestiges of awesome Christianity.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation about it where you were like, I can't remember. It basically, it's not as meaningful as everybody thinks it is or something. I can't remember.
I didn't say that.
No, you did not say that. But that was what I got from the conversation, that it was just kind of something.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to know that I've contributed to your cynicism of Christianity.
No. It wasn't Christianity necessarily that I actually had in mind about it. It was more just... I can't remember. I just remember the storyline was like, it morphed into all these things, but it actually didn't have its roots in Christianity or something, and I can't remember. I don't remember the details. Literally the only thing that I remember is, saying God bless you is kind of pointless, except that if people like it, then there's a point to it. But I didn't communicate how important it is. But anyway, I don't think that you would think that was a big... Moving right along.
That's no excuse, Becky. Good choices, Sid and Glory. Hello, Vin and Sori. What's up, Motifet? XBM, you're the first person on the planet that's ever asked me that question. I've actually thought long and hard about this. And I've come to a conclusion. And the conclusion is no and then yes. Or no and then probably.
There it is.
So the question, Jazakallah, do me a favor, take that one, the old one. Thank you. You're a lifesaver, sir. I appreciate you.
Once you sip this, your third eye will open. This one. No, seriously, this is like
That's what we need. We need a third eye open here.
What did you say?
I said once you sip this, your third eye will open.
My third eye will open. Oh,
Yeah.
God. Here we go.
This is pretty good.
Hey, you on that shit. Give me a hug, boy.
Just taste it, trust
I haven't seen you all day. I love you.
me.
I think I'll be down in time for the football game. We'll see. What's it, Steelers and Vikings?
Yup.
They're going to lose.
Wait, that's tonight?
Yeah, we're good, though. We're good. Okay. So he says, do you think the pre-incarnate Christ walking around with Joshua and the OT looked like the human New Testament Christ? Brilliant question. I initially said no because the description of Christ's physical nature is in Isaiah 53 where it says he had no beauty that we should desire him and no splendor that we should be attracted to him. And obviously the angel of the Lord was a splendorous, glorious being. Daniel couldn't even, Daniel, when he saw him passed out, couldn't even stand. So throughout his earthly life, Jesus was, his body was not glorious or handsome in any way. Mm-hmm. The reason I say probably, though, is that you do get glimpses of Christ's glory in the Transfiguration, for example.
Thanks, honey.
And I think that the being that they saw in the Transfiguration was probably close to the being that people saw in the Old Testament. Furthermore, when Jesus rose from the dead, there's a very curious
They didn't recognize him.
statement, especially on the road to Emmaus, where it says they didn't recognize who he was. It says that they didn't recognize him, and that's probably having to do with the fact that when you're resurrected, the scripture says you're resurrected in glory. So there was some continuity to where you could be like, that's Jesus, but his resurrected body was more glorious than his original body. And from that perspective, that resurrected body was probably closer to the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament than it was to Jesus, in the New Testament as they had experienced him, if that makes any sense. So it's a really cool question.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of thinking about it, and that's kind of the
Clearly.
conclusion I came to. So there you go. I don't think I'll ever have a question like that again in my life, because that's a really nuanced question. I could tell that you're in your body. You're thinking, XBM. Holy moly. Eight bit in the house. What's good? What's good? Joan Jett in the house. Yep. Jussie Smollett was found guilty. Good. Send that motherfucker to jail forever. For life. Yeah. Shout out to Shannon. Yeah, Juicy Smollett, you got to go away for a long time, bro. Long time. I hope you go away for a long time. That fool almost flamed up a whole bunch of racial bullshit in this country that we did not need.
Jussie Smollett or whatever?
Yeah.
You just said? What happened? Was he getting in trouble?
He got found guilty.
So what's going to happen?
The judge is going to determine what the sentence is.
Oh.
But I hope he goes away for a long time, because that's the worst possible time in our country to pull some bullshit like that just because you want fame or whatever it is. And you're already famous. Nah, bro, you got to go. You got to go for that. You got to go for that. There's still patriotism in America. Just because I'm not one of these MAGA people or whatever doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean I still don't love my country, and that doesn't mean that I'm cool with people trying to destroy my country with the racial tensions that were already at a fever pitch during the Trump administration.
Right. It was also disappointing too, because then he was out of that show.
That was pretty much the death knell of that show. The show was over after that. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Beat Blop. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name, my guy. Did you listen to Cradle's new record from India?
Thank you for the super chat.
Are you from India? If you are from India, that would be badass. No, I didn't even know Cradle put out a new joint yet.
Oh, I combined the two.
Gotta be kidding, I'm high. Haha, JLB is my guy. He's found guilty of 5 of the 6 charges. I hope they find him guilty of 7 of the 6 charges.
Oh, man.
Don Lemon was giving him advice. Doesn't surprise me at all. I'm sure Chris Cuomo gave him some free consultation too, just like he did to his brother. I have no patience for that shit, man. Mm-hmm. You guys know the deal. You guys know I'm a lover of my people, but you go and do some shit like that, stir the pot up like that, and try to capitalize on the racial tensions that are in this country. I don't know if y'all remember, people were dying in the streets in 2020 over this bullshit. So, I have no patience at all for Jussie Smollett. At all. At all, at all. Not even a little bit. Horrible.
He's going to regret it.
I don't know if he's going to regret the decision, because
if he spends time in jail?
To Jason's point, he's probably going to get a little slap on the wrist. He's probably going to write a book. Don Lemon's probably going to do an interview with him, and he's probably going to capitalize on this shit, which is all he wanted to do from the beginning. It's all he wanted to do from the beginning. Indonesia in the house. Long live Indonesia. Up? Exactly. XBM said it perfectly. Peace, Juicy. Fuck out of here. Yeah, that sentence better be a legitimate sentence, DJ. I'm telling you.
But you think it might not be?
No, man, I ain't gonna do nothing to that boy.
Why? What do you mean?
I don't think anything's gonna happen, because everybody was laughing at it. Everybody was joking about it, and there's a time to laugh at it. But at the same time, like I said, last year Americans were dying in the streets, not just the Rittenhouse thing. We covered a couple instances where people were getting shot up in the street over all this bullshit that was happening in our country, man. And I said, at some level, man, this is not even about Juicy for me. This is about being an American and like having to watch as your own countrymen are slaughtering each other in the street, and then you're gonna go and try to capitalize on that pain.
No, that was
and all that division that we had to deal with as a country. Fuck out of here, bro. I hope they throw the book at that, bro, man. For real. For real, for real. That shit is crazy, man. Unbelievable. And the fact that he's not being held accountable by the community. I mean, Chris Rock went after him.
He did.
Chappelle killed him. So I'm not going to say that we didn't go after him, but because Chappelle is the voice right now. So he kind of got held accountable. But yeah, I don't think he's going to spend a lot of time. I don't think he's going to. El Salvador!
Isn't it crazy that when the comedians are bringing more truth than the politicians?
Oh, I know. That's
it's laughable.
The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Like, it's a comedian covering the news, and people are much more likely to listen to that dude than everybody else. Pasto in the house. Argentina. We got the freaking UN in the house tonight, yo. We in good shape. Is Kopi here yet?
Oh, wow. Thanks for your super chat. You don't have to super chat to send us messages. You can just talk on here.
Oh, we got Soraya being all generous now. Look at this.
You're rubbing off on me.
Yeah, of course, a corrupt Chicago DA covered for him. Clearly. And if he wouldn't went on NBC and 2020 and Good Morning America with all that nonsense, the irony of all this is he probably would have been able to skate through the back door.
You're probably right.
But because he hyped this shit up, it put too much societal pressure. It's just like the other one with the Arbery case.
Yep.
If he would have just kept his mouth shut, them boys would have been all right. But this is where we're at now. America, we're so stupid. Even criminals are generally not very intelligent people, but there's such a desire for fame that people will literally dry snitch on themselves.
Yep.
Just to get their 15 minutes. So.
Yep.
Oh, Kopi is here. Kopi has rescued
up?
us from freaking Jussie Smollett and his stupid ass.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, man, I got no pity for that man at all, bro. Not at all. God bless America. That's what I say. America won today, y'all. America won today, y'all. USA. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember people? USA. I got love for every other country on the planet, bro. Hail Argentina. Hail all these people. But I am America. Fucking American.
Yeah.
Jussie Smollett got his ass found guilty today of 5 or 6 counts. They should have found that nigga guilty of 7 or 6 counts. Fuck Jussie Smollett. All right. I feel good now. I see my man Colby in the house. We're going to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top is song number 1. I don't know. Have we done any ZZ Top? I don't think so.
I thought we did one song, but anytime I make guesses, it never goes. And there's a way to look back to see if the guesses were correct. They don't come out to be correct very often.
JLB said you'll change your mind one day. Hey, shout out to Mexico. Viva Mexico. Wait a second. Mexico City's in Mexico, right? No, we've never done it. I would have been wrong. So glad I didn't say it. We've never done ZZ Top. Americans? Hey, look, just because I love my country doesn't mean I hate other people's countries, bro. I love all people. I love all people. I love all people.
I'm a lover of all mankind.
But the thing is Soraya's in America, Colby's in America, DJ's in America. I love all people. I love all right, guys. Oh, Iceland. We got the freaking UN here. Look at that, y'all.
What's up?
Yeah. I agree, DJ. All right, guys, let's go. Commercial time, and then we're getting right into it. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch.
Indeed. Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them. Okay, ladies and gents.
You've heard time and time again of us speak of these alliances.
Yes, you have.
And perhaps you were wondering if they ever really did exist. They have existed. They have continued to exist, and they shall always exist.
That's right.
So the one we have up tonight is actually Sin and Glory.
Yes.
Or Glory, as Vinny says.
Sin and Glory.
Glory.
Headed up by the big homie Chris Culp. Mm-hmm. Hails to Chris Culp.
And from what I know, he's like one of the funnest leaders. But I don't know. But I think Brand Archero might have it.
Archero and Chris
Culpy's been long term going for it.
One of the most engaged alliance leaders, bar none. He's the man.
And we got to meet him in person.
3 years
very
active.
Nice.
We got to meet him in person. He was actually there when we got married. We got married in the village, actually. Yep. So, The village is, this shit is unbelievable. It's our lives, man. It's unbelievable.
Yep. So anyway, they are up, and we told you they get to influence our song list, and so this is their song list.
Big homie Seven is your stuff done yet? I'm itching to hear it, man. Also, if you have little villagers, we've started a little TikTok called Fuji or whatever, and it's a TikTok thing. It's featuring Fuji, and it's kind of fun. It's fun. It's cooking. It's counting. It's all this stuff. If you have little ones, they'll probably like it.
We're on TikTok and we're on YouTube on that. Nobody
cares right now. All we care about is the music. This is for the
ZZ
big
Top.
homie Jason
Lagrange.
and this is a live performance,
Oh,
I
Jason's
believe.
the one that picked this?
Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to Jason. Let's do it.
Jason.
ZZ Top. Okay, that riff sounds really familiar.
Was for loud, there were Texas found. That shack outside the range, you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna know. To that whole round hall range, they got a lot of nice girls there.
Look at them. They look like Orthodox Jews playing guitar. Oh, they got a crew. People love this band. Look at this shit. Hear that double kick in the back? Oh no! Is that it? I can't do it.
I guess.
No, it's not it. Hold on.
Here we go.
One hand on you! One hand on you! See when they put that together, that's choreographed. Yeah, that's hard to do, man.
Hell yeah!
Ha 73. That old lady with all those other people.
I would rather be slumped and drunk I would rather be sloppy drunk than anything I know. Give another half a pint, maybe you will see me.
Okay, those are live admins. Okay. Go on your way.
Yep. Down to the shoes.
Hey baby, tell me why don't you? Hey baby, tell me why don't you? Come on a little closer, we can make some funky barbecue.
I want to go to a show.
Huh?
I want to go to
I
a
know.
show.
I know.
Everybody having a good time today?
What's that?
Blocked already. All right, guys. Apparently, this was an official kind of video, and it got blocked. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Let me see. Are we still live?
How did you know? People were saying it?
Because everybody was saying, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." Don't worry, guys. We're still here. We're still here. We're back. Still on Twitch. Still on Twitch.
Yep. That's the truth.
Let me pull the thing up. Oh my goodness gracious.
Shoot. Look,
What?
it's doing this.
Yeah, but it does that until the song is over. Let me check.
I thought it just kind of went black. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. Amy's
Lame.
back. Amy, are you on YouTube or were you on Twitch? Refresh it. Let me check here. Jason, relax, bro. Relax, Jason. You're good, bro. You're good. You didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, Jason feels bad. I'm not seeing Jason's messages over here.
Yeah. he
Oh, my
feels
bad, guys. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah. See, it says stream interrupted.
Okay.
So it didn't kill the stream. That's a completely different one.
Outlaw
We'll be back.
it says literally suspended for violations, and you say they'll be back, Amy? Doubt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Just hit refresh again.
YouTube sucks.
The stream looks like a minefield.
Nope.
Yeah, it said you can't continue playing this song. It will lead to a strike. The song is over. The song had been gone. So we didn't continue with the song. It's done.
Danny
Okay,
says it
Inside
says
Bilderberg
unavailable.
is on YouTube. Yeah, it'll say unavailable, and then it'll say suspended for policy violations. But we didn't get the copyright strike email from them. If you get a copyright strike, that's when they go, "We're gonna murder you." But they didn't send us a copyright strike yet. So I think we're okay. I think we're in good shape. Is it still unavailable?
Yep.
Well, this would be a good time for you beautiful people to sign up for us on Twitch and Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure we're still up on Twitter.
Oh, here we go. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. I told you we were back. I told you. Okay, guys. So that was...
Yeah, Danny, we agree with that. I think that, like, mentally they're behind the times, and so they're thinking if they're not looking at it as free advertisement.
Yeah.
They can't hear us? Well...
What do you mean they can't hear us? People saying they can't hear?
Yeah.
We're still live in Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Sean says he can hear us now.
Becky says they're going to probably kill Ozzy, too.
I don't know about that. I could have sworn which one was that? Let me see. Was that the official video?
I don't know.
The ZZ Top LaGrange. Let me see. Guys, do your best to try to not send us official videos. And I'll do my best not to download from official thingamajiggies. But let me see here.
Yeah,
it's from
something called Stages.
Stages. What is Stages though? Is that what are they?
I have no clue.
Let's go to About. It's a live performance, legendary, presented to you by the Montreux Jazz Festival and Mercury Studios. Okay. So that was an official kind of video because it came from this place, Stages. The next one.
This second link is from Nirvana themselves, so we can't use that one either.
No, I know, but me and Chris already already talked about that, so we got the solve for that one.
Okay. All right.
So, guys, relax. We're okay. We're okay. Everything is good to go. It's good to go. Nirvana is next, but let's talk about this song real quick. Okay, so first of all, you guys know how I get down. I was looking at the lyrics for the song.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm trying to follow along with the lyrics, and then I realized
he was ad-libbing?
Huh?
That he was ad-libbing?
Well, yeah, he was freestyling for about
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the audio won't help regardless. It won't help. The copyright folks will still get it.
No, because we actually get two. It says you're blocked for the audio, you're also blocked for the video. So they even split it up. So even if you they would just
it doesn't
hit you with that one.
It doesn't matter. But like I said, that's okay. Jason, I don't really think that's a miss on your part. Because I caught the Nirvana one. The Nirvana one was actually an official video. And so me and Chris worked that one out. This one, if I'd have checked the actual About section, I would have known it was a partnership between the studio and the festival, which is official all day long. So relax. It's all good. Everybody's good. We're okay.
My stressor with it is always I don't want the channel shut down. I don't like it when we can't release for a couple weeks. So but the last time when we got shut down, it was like in the middle of the stream we were done.
I know.
So this is good. That means I think we're all the way good.
Yeah, it was.
But even still, even if we weren't, like it went through the gates. You had the alliance leader, then you had us, then you had me. You know, all of us were in it, and we all went with this video. So don't even take any of it on yourself. Let's get into the song, though. I'm excited about talking about it. What's wrong?
Yeah, I just don't want Jason. I don't want Jason to feel bad.
Yeah,
at
Jason.
the end of the day, I'm driving the car.
Yeah, exactly. It's our channel. We saw the video. We knew what we're doing. And we're all
God's
still
behind
on here.
the channel.
Right.
I'm not really worried about the channel getting shut down. To be honest with you,
I just don't like it when we can't.
I'm gonna do my due diligence, but God's behind the channel.
Yeah.
And if the channel dies, then it's because God killed it. So I'm
true.
okay with that.
That's true.
But I don't think the channel's gonna die. We're in good shape.
Okay. So, one thing I gotta start out with this. I do remember, because remember how my father used to go to bands, like he used to go to shows?
Yeah.
And then they became Christians, and then all that fun stuff all stopped.
Yeah,
like everything, every
no fun.
Christianity
means no fun.
Literally, like not just my immediate family, but extended family as well. They would always be like, "We don't smoke, we don't drink. We got to do something for ourselves." When they would go and like, if they bought something a little extra that their budget was like, you know, they could afford it, but should you? They'd be like, well, we don't. That was the line everybody used. So anyway, so I do remember my father saying stuff about ZZ Top, and so obviously when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, like what would that have been like? Like if my dad didn't stop doing that, but instead like did like with us, like what we do. If he
Yeah.
had brought me to one of those shows.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
What I loved most about this video was, well, there are two things. The only time I've ever seen like
They were
50
old.
and 60-year-old
Yeah.
band members that have 19 and 20-year-old fans who are like legit passionate was Maiden.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you'd watch these Maiden things from like 2 or 3 years ago, and the guys in Maiden, like, they keep themselves in
Yeah, they do. They keep
performance shape. Like,
they
you
do.
can tell that
They do. Yeah.
they're really dedicated to make sure they put on a good live show. You've got to be physically fit. But they're like 20-year-old kids know every single word from a 30, 40-year-old song. I mean, I don't know how long Maiden's been around. But I'm pretty sure Metallica, you know, they're going to be like that too. And Korn to a degree, I guess. But, like, these are like 19... the song is like 50 years old. I mean, I don't know, 70s? It was like, what, 55 years ago? So, it's like, this shit is crazy to me that these kids... That must be the best feeling of all time. To be old.
Oh my gosh.
You wrote
and
this
to
song
see
in
the young ones in there.
1973.
Yeah.
And you got, those could be your grandkids.
Yep.
And they know every word and they're going crazy.
Yep.
I love that.
That's a huge compliment.
And the other thing was, it made you want to go to a live show, right?
That's what I said during it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go to a show. The lights, the art behind it, the planning, the energy, all of it. It's just hella fun. I liked how his outfit was like like you. It's like what you do, like where you put attention into the smallest of details. Like sometimes I see you keep like straighten this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You like take your time to like fold your bandana to be just perfect, you know? And so he had like from the top of his head all the way down, and then it like zoomed in on his boots and like even the connector on the bottom of his pants and his boots, and everything was, he picked the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could appreciate that. And they were old. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
he did a little spin around.
Yeah, well,
so
they had a
cute.
couple coordinated moves and they were doing this shit. Like, that was
It's
cool.
just great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, that's the thing. And again, like, you have to be in the sort of rock / metal subculture to like understand it. And you know, like seeing the guys up front, the security, they were splashing everybody with the water,
with the
and
hose,
then
yeah.
and then when the guy was climbing up, his buddy went behind him to kind of stabilize him. That's why, like, I don't want to bring anything bad, but those, I think it was Travis Scott, whatever the guy's name is, like 9 people died or whatever, and I'm like, how is that possible? Where is this? Because in rock shows, I just don't see how that would happen. Well, but I think with rock shows, like, the artist understands like that it can get dangerous there. So I've been to a show where Corey stopped the show. I've seen Linkin Park do it. They stop and they say somebody falls, pick them up, and then the security is not going to let something like that happen.
Yeah.
We'd never at a rock show, we'd never let somebody get pressed up against the gate and suffocate to death or whatever. Or if somebody is like crying out, like people were like yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
and
I
saying,
think,
help me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but at our shows, they're spraying people down, they're taking care of people. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it was hip hop. I don't know what it was. Maybe they're not used to that type of thing. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say something, then maybe it didn't make any sense. I was going to say, well, maybe it's locationally as well. Like, if you have, all the shows that we've have been like in the Northeast. I sneezed. All of our shows have been in the Northeast, so there's not like a ton of people there. So maybe that's why security seems like they're more on top of it. But then you've probably been to shows in other places, and this video was obviously not in Maine, so that's why I was.
I mean, you've never had an incident like this in Ozfest or Not Fest. Those are massive, multiple day festivals.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe it's because
a lot of girls got assaulted at Woodstock, but that was like 500,000 people, but nobody got trampled to death.
Yeah.
And you'd figure at Woodstock people would get trampled to death. So.
I wonder too, like
it's
just the energy of metal too.
That's
you know,
what
like
I'm saying.
It's we're all here because we've all suffered.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So
No,
maybe
I
it's
really think it's a cultural thing. Like, no, just
Yeah.
obviously, I mean, I came from hip hop, and I'm like hip hop. We just shot a rap video, 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I don't know. I think you're you know what's funny? When I was in the gutter in the Bronx, I never went to a rap show. There was one rap show that I was really interested in. It was Puff. It was right after Big died, and it was Puff, Mace, who's my favorite rapper, The Lox. I mean, it was a lot of Puff was at the top of the world at that time, and that's one I wanted to go to. But I didn't even think to ask my mom because like we didn't have any money. Like we were in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? But you hear like rap shows, dudes are getting shot, T.I. shooting people. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
But like this, like I'm not trying to pit the genre again, but like you could just see the joy in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And and that riff, like I've heard that riff.
So have I.
I had to have heard that riff in commercials or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it had to have been in it because, yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like you would have thought that would have that riff would have got played out because it's played so long. But as soon as that opening bar came out, everybody's like, everybody loves the song. But that's one of the things. Like I always show you whenever we go to a show. I'm like, look at the guy's hand on the fretboard. It's
You
like
do. I love it when you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like once I explain to you about scales and all this, like I'll show you on solos. Like, look, he's in penitence. He's just staying there, just staying home. So yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Shout out to rock music. No disrespect to hip hop at all, but I just think we've mastered. I think rock and metal has mastered the art of how to have fun at a show. You know what? This also made me want to do like, our shit. Like it made me like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I really think that first of all, the metal scene here died.
Yeah.
The last band was Dead Season. And then I don't even know where they are anymore. Like, I truly believe, like, we would dominate here. We would. All I got to do is get our bassist up here.
Oh my God. We would. Yeah, of course we would.
We would completely dominate the area. But I just want to go out and, like, just have... I would just feel like, what would it be like on the other side? You know what I'm saying? Like, the other side
That's interesting.
And they're clearly, they've been doing it all their lives, so they were doing all this shit, all this funny shit. Like, I wonder, like, I don't know, what would... Hey, is that the Lone Wolf? Remember Lone Wolf?
Well, I don't remember the numbers being after. Maybe it's another Lone Wolf.
Yeah, are you the same Lone Wolf from back in the day, or is this a new Lone Wolf?
And thank you for the super chat.
And thank you very much for the super chat, for show. So lyrically, it's like a rumor spin around in Texas. I guess somebody said like this song is very famous in strip clubs. About the shack outside LaGrange, and you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you want to go to that home on the range. They got a not a lice girl, so it looks like it's you know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So I see why it would be played at strip places, but for me, it's just about having fun. And then he started freestyling about the alcohol and all this shit. I was like, where are the lyrics?
Yeah, I know.
Like, this song is not about the lyrics. It's about the energy, the fun.
It did have a lot of fun feel to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what made me want to go back. I was like, oh man, I want to go to another show. And,
all right.
And I feel sometimes when I see these older bands, I feel like, oh man, I was born in the wrong year.
How come?
Because would have loved to see these people in their heyday. You know what I mean? Like, you have videos that you can watch. We all know it's not the same. You can't experience that. Anyway, what are you giving it?
Solid 9. Solid 9. Solid live performance. I really, really appreciate it.
For me, I think it's between a 9. I'll go with 9.25. I liked it. I liked its energy.
Okay. There you are, dear listener.
Yes.
So we had a little bit of a hiccup. Never you fair. Shout out to the big homie Jason for starting the night off with a really cool ass song. We appreciate you, buddy. Don't feel bad that it got blocked. It's the fascists over there at the record label. Don't feel bad, little bro.
Done.
We benefited from it. We benefited from it for show. All right, y'all. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. All right, guys. Next up, what's next on the list?
Nirvana.
Breed. And that one is gonna be different from the one that you sent, guys. The big homie Chris Culp already got us that. So stay tuned for the commercial. We shall return. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. That's not the one.
Buy merch indeed.
Yes, do that. Buy our merch.
I think that's it.
That's weird that it said reactivate. Oh, Lord. We don't need any more trouble on that front. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Sin and Glory Alliances. What?
Go ahead.
Odd.
Continue.
Okay, we are here doing a stream for the Sin and Glory Alliance.
Yes, one alliance as we mentioned on the
Yes.
commercial.
The next song on our list is a Nirvana song. Super excited about that. And the name of the song is Breed. Not Breathe. Breed.
Yes. Can you get the lyrics? Okay, so this is Breed from the band Nirvana.
You've probably heard of them before.
Yeah, you've probably heard of the band Nirvana before. And this is from the Sin and Glory Alliance, the big homie Chris Culp as the leader. Okay, guys, here we go. Breed is next. We're going to play this with no fear. You know, there's that song. And I got no fear like them shirts the white boys wear. No fear, bitches. That's also like one of my favorite lines in Black Hawk Down.
Oh, really?
This guy Grimes, he wanted to jump on. He wanted to jump in because he wanted a piece of the action because he was doing desk work. Okay. And then those boys shot an RPG at him from a technical. And he went, ah! And they're like, hey, Grimes, no fear.
Oh, no.
Shout out to the homie.
Was he out after that? Was he like, okay, I've had enough, I like my desk? Or
it's too late at that point. He's on the field.
He died?
No. I'm just saying he's on the field. You can't go back to your desk after that. You got to shoot, boy. All right.
Nirvana Breed. Let's go.
Let's do it with no fear. Dave Grohl as a Foo Fighters guy.
How can
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We're done with that one. Okay. I'm reloaded. Okay, so there are the lyrics. And then I think this is a direct quote from the homie. Getting into Middle America with Vin and Sori. So
That's what I thought you were putting an advertisement. I was like, well, at first I'm like, why is that even on the screen? And
well, it's what the artist says. You know,
Okay.
like, I think it's pretty cool if you can get a direct quote of the artist, you know, what they're saying about the song.
I agree.
Marrying at age 18, getting pregnant and stuck with a baby and not wanting it.
Oh, that's nice.
I think that's how he, that's what he said about the song. What?
Okay, well, that makes a
I
little
mean,
bit
that
more
happens
sense.
happens to a lot of people at that age.
The
So.
song itself, I have to say, was my least favorite Nirvana song ever of all time. I actually really didn't like the song. It was like super repetitive and just saying the same lyric over and over and over, and then the instruments making this. I just wasn't a fan. Puddin' Pop 80. Hello.
Why? What happened?
She just put a lot of emojis, so it was just a cute little message.
Oh.
But anyway, so I'm not really a fan of the song.
I don't like
Felt
repetitive
chaotic.
lyrics a lot either. Although I don't feel like he was sneaking in a lot of significant shit in what he was saying, even though it was repetitive. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
somebody was
mind, I
saying
don't
that
mind.
this
He
taught
says
them
like
a
I
lot.
don't mind, but then he says doesn't have a mind. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like there's a method to it in the way that he does, where he says what he says. Get away from your home. I'm afraid. Ghost. See what I'm saying? So that has a lot of that's a pretty significant opening line, especially in the context of what he was talking about, which is you're in small town America, you're married way too early. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily, people aren't necessarily immature when they're 18 or very mature when they're 28.
Right.
And so it's not necessarily the age thing, but, you know, like, I definitely believe that Zoe could make an informed decision about who to marry at 18. The dude would have to be 23, 25 type of thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely think she could pull that off. Johan, he's going to have to wait till he's 50. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Babe.
but you know, when you're young, you want to get away from your house. You think you know everything, and then you get stuck with the exigencies
you know what's
of life.
so interesting is I actually disagree with you, and I would actually have a flipped view of that.
Go ahead.
I would actually trust Johan more to make a spouse decision more than Zoe, because Johan is very, when it comes to those decisions, he's very principled, and he goes for principled guidelines from like the scriptures. And he'll be one that, like, yeah, I don't know, just the discussions that I've had with him on, he seems like...
Yeah, but I'm talking about his current manner of life is very immature.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love that, because that means he's
Absolutely.
going to stay around for a while, so I appreciate that. What I'm talking about is, it looks to me like, if you look at the lyrics, get away from here, get away from your home.
Uh-huh.
And that's what, you know, young, impulsive people do, especially at 18.
Yep.
Because at 18, it's this weird thing where your country tells you you're an adult. Like, you're responsible enough to kill when you're 18, but you're not responsible enough to drink. So
Some of the stuff our country does
it's
is
just
just
straight.
ridiculous.
And, you know, I heard somebody say that, you know, the whole 18 was just created by capitalists so that you could force your kid out to put him into the machine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Which
Some-
actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Somebody was saying you can get a loan for school,
Correct.
but you can't get a loan to start your first small
You can't
business.
get a $10,000 business loan, right?
Yep.
And I don't know how true that is because I've never taken out a student loan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure.
Well, we know student loans happen.
Oh, I do, but I'm not sure.
I've never met anybody that was young and was able to do a small business.
Yeah, but how many
loan.
18-year-old kids do you know that are like, I'm going to go get a business loan? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they're not thinking that way.
Well, I'm calling tomorrow. I need to know the answer to this.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing them grants. Shout out to Joe Biden.
Yeah.
We're absolutely gonna take them grants, my guy.
Oh man, I was cooking downstairs. I was so frustrated because the meat cost me $60.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep. So this costs, and then I messed up the recipe. So I'm like, this costs $60, and I just messed up the recipe. And then I said, go Brandon.
You
I
did?
had to tell the
my
kid.
God.
And then the kids
You should
thought
say
I didn't know.
Bezos.
The kids thought I didn't know what that meant. And then I was like, okay, you guys, that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Johan's like, yeah, but did you know what it meant when you said it? I said, I did.
Look.
Yep, that's what I did in my kitchen.
You were horrible. No, I mean, really, you
$60?
should say, let's go AOC, let's go Bernie, because Biden and all those people, they already told you what they were. AOC and Bernie didn't stand up for us in the greatest theft of capital in the literally the history of the world. You guys need to go back and watch Jimmy Dore when all that shit was happening. We had experts on there. They broke it down about how they G'd us all. And now people are trying to blame the inflation on giving a couple $100 to destitute people. That's the reason we're inflated. It's not because we gave these massively bloated organization quadrillions of dollars. No. Anyway. But my point is, when you're young, that's it. I want to get away. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to strike it out on my own.
Yeah.
Then you strike it on your, you're away from home, and then it's, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
So then it goes, even if you need, I don't mean to stare. We don't have to breed. We could plant a house. We could build a tree. I don't even care. We could have all three.
Isn't that weird? Plant a house and build a tree?
Well, that's brilliant, right?
Oh, what? Why?
Because again, it's that weird limbo transitional period between adulthood and childlikeness. So kids build tree houses.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Kids build tree houses. So when you're a kid, you have a tree. So it's confused. We could plant a house. We could build a tree. That is brilliant writing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of brilliance in this dude's lyricism if you can catch it.
Yeah.
If you can catch it and see what this dude is doing. So he's, I'm afraid.
Especially when you put that thing, like, he's 18 years old, he's having a baby, he's, and he didn't even want to be pregnant. I think it's from the girl's perspective, but yeah, go ahead. What were you saying? Oh, I thought you said that was his words.
Well, that was his words. I don't know who the protagonist in the song is. Maybe it's a dude. Yeah, it's a dude, and then he wants to strike out on his own, and then he finds this girl. Now
they're pregnant.
And well, I don't know if they're
Children
pregnant
tie
yet.
the feet. It's a Chinese proverb.
It says, I don't mean to stare. We don't have to breed. So he's saying we don't have to have sex necessarily. Or she's saying that. But then he says, she said.
Yeah, but I think what they're saying in that one, I think he's saying he actually wants more than just sex with her. That's why he's saying we don't have to breed. Oh, or do you think he's saying we don't have to have kids? We can live life together. We don't need to have kids right now.
Right. I don't know if she's saying that or he's saying that. Right? Because right after that, as she said. I don't care if it's old.
No. He's saying, I don't mean to stare. We don't have to breed. And then he says we could plant a house. We could build a tree. And then she says, I don't even care. We could have all three. They could build the house. They could plant the tree, and they could breed. And then. Okay. That's why it says she said. So she was saying, I don't even care. Like, we can have all three. We can have everything. We can have it all.
Okay. That makes sense. I don't care if it's old. I don't mind. Don't have a mind. So that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, when you're first starting out and you want to be able to have everything, then I don't know, maybe it's, I know for myself it was true, and I know for other people that I know that they did the same thing, but of course, I don't know everybody. But when you're first starting out, like, she's saying that she doesn't care, but if they had all the money in the world, would she still have picked that house? Even though it was that old? Well, no, probably not.
Would she still have picked that dude? That's the question.
Dude, yeah, all of it. So
that's like what we were talking about yesterday. Like, how much of your decisions are your decisions?
Right.
Right? Like, I could get really dangerous, but I'm not going to. But like a lot of people like get married for. That's why, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with the concept of arranged marriages. If, like, I was just reading this article, that's starting to become very big in India again.
Yeah.
So like you had what the hell?
Seems to me
You had the previous generation. you had the previous generation of kids that were like, this is horrible, blah, blah, blah. But then their children, who are us now, they're saying, well, shit, this, they call them love marriages in India, where the traditional Western, oh, I love you, across the room, love at first sight, romanticism thing, that have nothing to do with class or caste or anything like that. They're starting to realize how difficult that is to maintain. Yeah. And so now the millennial women are asking again for arranged marriages. And so in the Western world, we have this concept of romanticism, like, oh my gosh, people need to get together because they love each other. And now now people are dealing with the fallout of that, because
there is a lot of
there's a ton of fallout with that understanding of marriage, because what ends up happening when you look across the room and somebody else catches your heart?
Yeah.
What you win them with is what you win them to. So if you tell a person, oh yeah, you get warm flurries and that should be the basis of your marriage, well, good luck. Because anybody that's ever been married more than 2 seconds will tell you that, I don't talk about the honeymoon stage, because I don't believe in that. I believe in cycles. Relationships are cyclical. And so you're going to go through a winter cycle at some point. You're going to go through an autumn and winter cycle. And romanticism is not going to keep you married, bro. So my point is, people are recoiling in horror at the concept of arranged marriages, but it's an extremely pragmatic way to look at, okay, this is this is how my son is, this is how your daughter is. Yeah. We've known each other, we've both seen them react in circumstances, so we think this would be the best kind of situation. Yep. And those marriages work. They quote unquote learn to love each other, whatever that means. And now you've got other people like Kevin Samuels, who he says that the point of marriage is not to love each other or feel good, it's to build. It's about partnership and building something to go with the man's agenda, which I think is, obviously, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, your job is to go with your man's agenda as an end in itself. No. Because there's nothing above the man's agenda in Kevin's world. It's just the man's agenda.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he tries to weaponize the Bible to say, oh, you have to go. Yeah. The Bible never tells a woman to go along with the man's agenda, not once. It tells the man, hey, you need to lead your family in this direction. And then it tells a woman in that context, okay, you got to follow your husband. What's really interesting,
Proverbs 31 doesn't sound like she's
not gonna go there.
Doing that either.
What?
It sounds like she's got her own agenda. She wakes up, she does the things that she needs to do. She buys a field, she works it. It doesn't even say she even consults him for buying it.
Yeah, Proverbs 31 is an extremely wealthy...
But she knew what the goal was.
Seduct. She was an extremely wealthy and driven woman. Yep. And it doesn't say that her husband is worthless per se, but the husband is...
Well, he's known in the gates, right?
He's known in the gates because of her. He's popular because of her accomplishments.
Oh, I never realized that.
Yeah.
I thought they were both...
Her children rise up and call her blessed.
Yeah.
So it's complete celebration of this woman and the honor she brings to her family. And she's a very industrious, ambitious. I mean, she surveys a field and buys it. Her husband is nowhere to be found. He doesn't help her with the field. She's wealthy enough to have people at home that are working for her, and she takes care of her workers. And her children rise up and call her blessed. I mean, she's a strong woman. Does not need that dude at all. There's no, and that's in the Old Testament. Yeah. And somehow Christians have found a way to say, you ought to be barefoot and pregnant, bitch. It's unbelievable to me. It's crazy. But so now they're in this situation. I don't know. Maybe he says, I don't care how old. I don't care if it's old.
I thought she was saying she doesn't care how old the house is. Where did...
Well, it's in the next verse. It's right here, babe. I don't care if it's old. I don't mind. Don't have a mind.
Yeah.
Now, this is purely my bias based on the fact that he said it was about getting knocked up at 18 or whatever. I think maybe she's talking about the kid. Because you know how they'll say fetus and they'll dehumanize it and they'll call it an it instead of a he or she when they decide they don't want the child. Yep. And then they'll say don't have a mind in the sense that, hey, the kid's not even conscious, so we should be able to kill it. Oh. Is that the only place that it says don't have a mind? Yeah. No, first verse too. Well, it is, again, it follows after old. Oh. Oh, you think that's what they mean?
It very well could be.
That's completely based on what he said about, marrying at 18, getting stuck with a baby and not wanting.
Yeah.
Not wanting.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you look at the language that he used, not wanting it, getting stuck with a baby and not wanting it.
Right.
Not him or her.
Right.
It.
Well, yeah. That's
so it's sort of like that's the terminology that gets used, which I don't understand the whole stuck with a baby thing. Like you can give the child up for adoption. Like, why do you have to kill it?
Well.
No, you're a woman, so I'm like literally asking you, like, why?
I've actually asked that question quite a few times, and everybody always gives me the same answer. The answer is that they don't want to put their child up for adoption because then their child is alive, living somewhere else. They don't know where they are. They don't know if they're being taken care of. That child is going to call somebody else mom. They're going to live their whole life with those people. They're living proof of you not keeping them. Eventually, they're going to want to face you. What's that conversation? It's a whole host of things. And so if they can say it's a fetus, it's not a child, and end it before then they feel better with that decision. Well, better, I don't think long term necessarily, because I think that there's certain things that you have to do mentally to even be able to
I'm legit trying to
survive.
understand here. So you're saying, so you're pregnant, you don't want to get stuck with a baby. I just think that phraseology is so horrible.
I agree.
And I think everybody thinks it's hard. Like, for example, if you saw a single mom with frazzled hair and, little Timmy at 3 years old is throwing around a bunch of Cheerios and you hear that woman say, I hate so much that I'm stuck with you. I think most people would say that's a really fucked up thing to say to a 3-year-old. What the fuck is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. Like, we know that you're stressed out, but holy shit, lady. Mm-hmm. But you're saying we would rather kill a child than give him up for adoption because the kid will call somebody else mommy? But you think you're being stuck.
There's a whole bunch of things.
But you're being stuck with this child, so you obviously don't want the child. You dehumanized it, you depersonalized it.
Right, but they don't even want to contend with the thoughts of that living child for the rest of, till they hit 18. So if they can say, it's not a child, it's a fetus, or it's a clump of cells, or it's, calling it something else, and then eliminate that child, then they don't have to live wondering where the kid is. Are they safe? Did you make the best decision? Is there a way to get the kid? There's just a whole host of questions. But the one that they said over and over was just, you don't want to know that your kid is just like living somewhere else with someone else and you don't know what's happening to them. And I thought, that was an odd response
this
because
is just for.
I don't understand how death is the alternative.
I've done this a million times, but I'll do it again. This is the Oxford Dictionary's definition of fetus: an unborn offspring of a mammal, in particular an unborn human baby.
Right.
More than 8 weeks after conception. Similar words are embryo, fertilized egg, unborn baby, unborn child.
Right.
So this is not a pro-choice, pro-life. Like we got to cut in the middle between, because pro-life has rhetoric, I use it all the time, and pro-choice has rhetoric, they use it all the time. But the fetus thing is just, it's a baby.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you have I have a lot more respect for people who can look at the face and say, yep, like that doctor. Mm-hmm. The guy said, you fetus, like, how do you feel about people that say you're killing babies? And the doctor looked the guy right in the eye and said, no, I'm killing babies. I don't play around with that shit. I'm killing babies. And I make a lot of money doing it. Like, okay.
A rose
cool.
by any other name is still a rose. We say that phrase.
Yeah.
You can't call it anything.
Well, he said
it's
it.
a child.
He says he doesn't want to be stuck with a baby and not wanting it.
Right.
So you can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you so, but again, my thing is, he didn't say, therefore she's going to abort it. All he said was, now she's stuck. He didn't say, yeah, I'm sure he was pro-life and all the rest of it. My point is, he didn't say that in the song, and he didn't even say that in the explanation of the song.
Right.
All he said was this girl was 18, she got out of her house too early, she wasn't really developed enough to have a child. Now here she is, and now she's stuck with a baby. Now she's terrified. Because it gets back to she's afraid now and she wants to get away again. See, in the first verse, it was get away from your home. I think initially it was,
Get away from your parents' home.
Yeah, get away from your parents' home.
Yeah.
Right? But the second stanza, it's get away from your home because you're fleeing parenthood. You don't want to be a parent. Right? Which, can you blame an 18-year-old girl for not wanting to be a parent? No, especially if she's with some,
Yeah.
This guy doesn't sound like the most proactive kind of fellas to me. And now he's afraid. Now she's afraid again. Now he says ghost. He says ghost again, which is very, very significant in the context of what we just discussed.
Oh my gosh.
But he said ghost earlier too.
Yeah,
though.
right.
So in our slang, back in the Who, he's like, oh, that man's ghost. It means like you left, you ran away, like you disappeared like a ghost. So that's probably what he means about getting out of the house initially. But now, here we go again. I'm afraid, ghost, which is true. Like there's a lot of fear that go. Even were you afraid at all when you the first time you got pregnant? I mean, you were already married, you're already established.
No, the only thing that well, I did feel. I wouldn't say that I was scared. I was thrilled that I was pregnant because I thought I probably, I kind of had that fear. My sister really, really was afraid she was never going to be able to have kids. And I just had if hers was up on 10 for fear, I was at 2.
Okay.
But I think I was probably a lot higher than that, but I think I didn't want to be panicky looking like her. So I think I tried to keep mine at 2, but it probably was pretty high up there. So when I got pregnant, I was super excited about it. But there was, at different points, this, I would say, again, a fear that came because the whole the Chinese proverb type thing that children tie the feet and stuff like that. So here you are, you have this child. What if it doesn't work out in your relationship? You got to drag a child through all that shit. And then, to my surprise and dismay, that's what happened. I went through a divorce and, little Selah had to deal with it on her end too. And so my fear ended up happening,
She's still doing it.
Right. She's still dealing with it.
Yeah.
And that's difficult, I think, as a parent. And so for me, that would have been, that would have been my fear. Because I always felt like you can always add more water to the soup. You can shrink stuff down. You can spend less money. Money, I was never afraid that financially we'd be ruined because we had a child. And my husband didn't have a good paying job. I mean, it was good for that time, where we were. But it wasn't
2008, the rate he was getting around 2008 was pretty decent.
But it was, it was stretched thin for even the things that we were doing. It's not like we were going to live a lavish lifestyle,
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I was completely fine with. I just wanted to, everybody to be good, everybody to be safe and straight. So, but there was, yeah, absolutely. And I was always afraid that man, I never realized how much of my life I've allowed fear to just run rampant. But I felt fearful too that something would happen, because there's always these random things that happen, a kid gets hit by a car or, some crazy family member does something crazy. You know what I mean? There's all these things that you hear happening.
You have some crazy family members where shit
right. So
could very easily happen.
Right. So there's all these things, that kind of you're now responsible for a human being. And when you bring that little bundle of joy home and it's like you said, there's no manual, you feel are you serious? How are they letting us go home with them? But, if you just love and care for the child, you're going to be fine. They don't need all the things that media puts out that they need. They don't need every toy. They don't need everything. You just give them a bit. They're actually pretty inexpensive when it comes down to it, except formula's a little expensive.
But we have a solution for you, dear listener.
We do have a solution for that.
Yeah. I do think, though, when you're 18, especially in America, I'm sorry, you're kind of in arrested development. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
18 in Jamaica is a lot different from 18 in America.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I believe it.
18 in Syria is a lot different from 18 in Jamaica. So you have to contextualize. You have people who are, I mean, I hate to say it, and this was before, Nirvana's time, but it's even more relevant now. You got kids that are raised on participation trophies and yep. You did great just showing up and all that, and you know, I was having a big conversation with Dorian yesterday. Like, you have to learn to lose. Like, nowadays, kids are not constructed to be able to deal with any sort of adversity at all. So it's like, oh, we don't want the kid to feel bad about losing. Well, you lost. Mm-hmm. Go to the gym more. Mm-hmm. Run longer. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. That's what we all did. When we lost, we hated that taste in our mouth so bad that, like, we practiced harder. We played harder. Mm-hmm. We did everything. You do everything harder. And it prepared us for adulthood. Like, oh, you just got hit with a left hook. Mm-hmm. How are you going to get up? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're doing these businesses with our family and our kids. And I told y'all, I said, okay, we got this one major project that's projected to be pretty lucrative. Mm-hmm. And I said, there's going to be about 1 or 2 real major setbacks and gut punches. I prepared everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or like when I was talking to, we're throwing around ideas of where to live or whatever. And, we were watching football and the boys were talking about, we make the high school team and all this. And I said, I don't think you guys would make the team. And they were like, what? Can't we do anything we want? I'm like, no, you can't do anything you want. That's not how the world works. I'm like, these kids are down south. They're all gigantic compared to you.
The reason that they thought they could do anything they wanted was because Vin is their father. And so they look at him, they're like, we have his blood. We can do it all. But you didn't just wake up being able to do the things that you do. I mean, you have a lot of gifts.
I had a lot of adversity.
Yes, but there was a lot of things.
I didn't make the Brooklawn Knights. I didn't even make the JV team. Like, it happens. You go to try out, and there's 2 waves, and in the first one, you make it, and the second one you don't make it. Everybody knows you didn't make the team. It is what it is. So now you gotta deal with that adversity. So my boys, Dorian is not the most athletic guy in the group, but he's very, very intelligent, and Johan he's got heart. He's got the heart of a football player, but he doesn't have the skills or the discipline. So I'm not going to sit here and lie, oh yeah, you can do anything you want. My point is, like, imagine being fed all that bullshit and then you turn 18 and now you have a child. These girls they have no idea what to do. Yeah. Neither do the guys. They have no idea. So I understand, like, the absolute terror. Like, not just fear, terror. Like, how the hell am I supposed to do this? I'm responsible for a full human being.
That makes sense.
So I understand what you're saying about the lyrics. I thought the lyrics were brilliant. I thought what he did was brilliant with his lyric writing.
Oh, I agree. As we went into it, that he did very well. Well, I mean, brilliant. I think it was good lyrically. I think what he did was, but I don't know, brilliant.
I thought it was brilliant.
Well,
but go ahead, judge the song.
Oh no, babe, you go first. You go first.
Freaking Amy, too much information, damn it. But I'm glad you don't have that on your resume, on your conscience, for sure. But you're our folks regardless, no matter what you did in life or whatever. You're ours regardless, and we're yours. Period. Okay, so you rate it. Go ahead and rate it, you Grinch.
I'm giving it a 3. Babe, I think it's a 3.
Go ahead.
I think it's a 3.
Go ahead, say what you have to say.
And that's what I'm saying. I did. It's a 3.
Kurt would celebrate because you're a woman. He was big on the girls, so go ahead, celebrate.
I mean, it was a 3. This was 1991. I don't know. I didn't like the sound of it vocally, and I usually love his stuff. And like I said, the lyrics, all that repetitive. I understand that it made sense. I think that there are better ways that he could have. I don't know. No.
How dare you? How dare you?
And
this is a 9.8. Brilliant song.
9.8.
Hey, I didn't comment on your horrible.
No, you did. You made a little thing. You made a face and all that.
They're brilliant. It was brilliant lyrics, brilliant lyricism. They're probably so deep that there's probably a whole bunch of stuff that I missed. But if you look at the progression, they're brilliant. I love the way he sang it, and I also loved his voice. I loved his vocal tone because he's got a very, very specific vocal style that I really enjoy.
And I usually really enjoy it. Matter of fact, I turned this one down.
And he was saying a lot of
just lower.
He was saying a lot of deep shit. Amy, 3 is the new 8. Okay, guys, having said that, dear
Oh,
listener,
boy.
if you are in regular YouTube land and you're square, then you're going to have to check us out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, stick around because we have more from the Sin and Glory Alliance
next
headed
up
up
is
by the
Black
big homie
Sabbath,
Chris
the
Cole.
Mob Rules.
Gang. Black Sabbath is next, y'all. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.
Yep. So sorry. So sorry, you all. Whoever picked that song, I'm
Yeah, G.
sorry.
Davis says this is P. Cells territory. Exactly. If you're an OG villager, you know what my man G. Davis is saying right now.
It's so funny. That's
Ignorant
exactly what
ass.
I know. I literally thought of Peace Cells when I was about to give out my score.
All right, guys, we're coming right back to you. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes.
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that
can
off.
also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee,
Can't
a
guarantee
positive
you a
review.
positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch indeed.
And I'm supposed to say indeed. Buy merch indeed, a child shall lead them. Go ahead.
We are doing a live stream for the Alliance Sin and Glory, headed up by Christopher Culp. We call him Culpy. He's been represented here in the village for quite some time. That's a version of him as well. That's have him, have Jay. 'Cause he's the one that got the little
half
little
and
thing.
half.
Yep. Anyway, so that is where we've talked about it before, where the alliances get to influence our song list. And so the next song that is on our list tonight is Black Sabbath, The Mob Rules.
Yes, The
and
Mob
this
Rules.
is because Sin and Glory did it, all of their however it is that Colby comes up with it.
We're about to do this one also with no fear.
Yep, that we're gonna get blocked.
We're not
going
gonna
to
be afraid. I think we're in good shape. And no, Matthew, I did not have a horned Viking helmet. I get it though. We should probably make this the thumbnail.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a thumbnail picture real quick. Hold on, guys. Let's take a thumbnail picture real quick. Was it shift 5? Capture in 5
And I don't know why
seconds.
you're doing that. Do you want me to just add horns to us?
No, I want you to do it this way. That way our stalkers can be like, I knew it, right?
I don't even know what it's for.
Shout out to our stalkers for
Straight up
the
or
thumbnail
curved?
for the live stream. Shout out to all our stalkers. You bitches, do something with your life.
Oh, because we're trying to be devils?
You literally just.
Oh,
why would you
sorry.
put your?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Because I asked you if we're straight or curved.
Why do you
Are we trying to be devil?
overcomplicate everything?
'Cause
Just
I'm trying to figure out
put
what
the
we're
horn-
doing.
I'm gonna do that. You do what you will with it, okay? Good lord. All right, there it goes. Okay, so now we can
Change the thumbnail?
We can change the thumbnail with that
Wow.
picture.
I
All right,
thought that was
guys.
a thumbnail. Did you put it up in PicMonkey?
I will soon. Black Sabbath. The name of this song is
The
I believe.
Mob Rules.
Yeah, The Mob Rules.
Yeah, that's what kids try to do in households. They're like the mob. They want to have new. Can we have a later bedtime?
Yeah. Can we talk for 30 minutes? No! The mob rules, let's go!
I'm Jonah.
Okay.
Close the city and tell the people that something's coming to call.
Literally Jonah.
Death and darkness are rushing forward to take a bite from the wall. You've nothing to say. They're breaking away. If you listen to fools, the mob rules.
My man Dio. Let's go, Dio. Listen to the rules, the mob rules. Let's go.
Kill the spirit and you'll be behind the end is always a shame. Play with fire, you burn your fingers and lose your hold on the flame. It's over, it's done. The end has begun. If you listen to fools, the mob rules.
Let's go. Tony Bullock and Ione, let's go.
Idiots.
Talk to him, brother minister.
I like that. Honey, what? How long was that? Like 3 minutes? 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, it was not very long at all.
Under 4 minutes.
Literally 3.5 minutes, like to the
Okay.
dot. 3.16.
Yep.
Yeah, holy smokes.
3.16.
Yeah, that's
3.25. Right?
I think you're right. Yeah, 3.30 would be 3.5
Right.
minutes.
Yeah.
Good catch. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You know what this song made me think of? Well, first of all, at the beginning, I thought he said Jonah.
Close the.
It
Jonah?
sounded like Jonah,
Okay.
and then it said close the city. No, not that. It was what he said right before he started this verse. And then it says close the city and tell the people that something's coming to call. I was like, yo, it's literally about Jonah.
Oh.
Because I thought it was him coming to give them, but it wasn't. Not at all. And okay, so one thing that this song made me think of, whether it's on topic or off topic, doesn't matter because it was what I got from the song. If you listen to Fools, the Mob Rules, and I was thinking, you know, obviously politically, if they're fools and then how everybody goes along with a fool and then, well, really, you know, it's like with Trump. He was really being a fool in that moment in January. And then the mob took over and look at what happened. People ended up dead.
Yeah.
So there's a
I was watching this press conference.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard, bro, but I was trying to keep it down because you were sleeping. But you know, the crazy lady that compared the COVID stuff to the Holocaust.
Oh god.
And Matt Gaetz, the guy who's got those sexual assault things happening in the background or whatever.
Okay.
They lined up and they're like, "We're here to tell you of the conditions of the prisoners of January 6th." So they're explaining normal prison conditions, and they're like, "This is horrible. This is unjust." And then she goes, "But every night at 9:00, they put their hands over their chest and sing the national anthem." And it was clear to me that she had no understanding whatsoever. Because she said that with no irony whatsoever.
Oh
She
my
had
gosh.
no understanding of how this kind of silliness falls on the ears of literally everybody else who does not support those
Right.
people. And
Absolutely.
even people that do support those people.
Yeah.
So what, they should not we've been in, you know what they say when we talk about deplorable prison conditions, they say, well, prison isn't summer camp. You're not supposed to like it. But now their folks are in there, all of a sudden it's the end of the world. Like, it's mind-boggling. It was insane to me. And like, they said it with zero irony whatsoever.
Wow.
These were the same people 4 years ago, well, 2-3 years ago, when we were talking about kids in cages. Yeah. And they would say things like, well, hey, you shouldn't have broke the law.
Oh yeah, I know.
You're saying this about kids.
I know.
But then you got grown men
I
and
know.
women who went off and committed an act of insurrection and treason, and we're supposed to feel bad for them because they're experiencing normal prison conditions. It's mind-boggling to me, bro.
Unbelievable.
It's absolutely insane. But the first time this happened, I was in we're in global studies. We didn't call it social studies in high school. We call it global studies.
Okay.
And there was this kid, and now I realize the kid was probably a Marxist, but our teacher was talking about how democracy is the most superior form of government because it's by the people. Mm-hmm. And he's explaining representative government and how that works in a democratic republic, whatever you want to call it. And the guy goes, "Mr. Antisico, isn't democracy just basically mob rule?" And I looked at the kid and I said, "What the fuck? What's wrong with you, man? Like, don't you want to have a vote?" And the kid looked back at me and said, "Yeah? What do you think the majority vote would have been during the slavery period about you?" And I was like, holy shit. He goes, "Abraham Lincoln just showed up and imposed himself, and then he started to school us on the 19th Amendment. Those people voted to secede. That was their right." To this day, you go down south.
Wow.
You go down south, a lot of these Confederate flag waving folks, they're mad as hell, and they deserve to be, because technically they went through the proper channels to do what they were supposed to do. And Abraham Lincoln said, "No,
Well,
we're still gonna come here and fuck you up."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so
Very interesting.
it was like it was a real eye opener to me because. And Tucker used the term mob very, very brilliantly to completely silence the very legitimate issues that people had in 2020. He did a very good job of just characterizing them all as a mob of
Yep.
miscreant, which the British did the exact same thing with the Americans. Mm-hmm. If you look at the the documentation back and forth, it was just this unruly mob of unwashed people who've forgotten their mores from Britain and have now become the savages, like the savages that they're around.
Wow.
I mean, that's almost a direct quote from one of their generals. So it's like, but it was the first time I really questioned, because I was saying it before we started start everything. Like, I'm a patriot, man. Like, it's America all the way. I was not born in this country,
Right.
but everybody in my family has served this country, in my mind, with distinction. Mm-hmm. And the majority of us are immigrants, but it was a real eye opener because I had never even questioned the concept of democracy and how that works with concepts of justice and things of that nature. But I mean, it really is. But at the same time, I'm like, well, what's the alternative? Because I haven't seen a better alternative to representative democracy. Because what's the answer? Somebody else goes and gets to impose it on everybody else? Go ahead.
Yeah, but there are times like that kid said with slavery, it had to be imposed.
Yeah.
And like I mean, I know how people feel about it, but I keep thinking about the vaccination, and I keep thinking how a lot more people are going to end up dead because everybody doesn't just get immunized. So
So you want the government
No,
to
I
impose?
don't. No, I don't. I don't want the
immunizations on
government
people?
to. No, I don't want the government. I want people to be compelled by love in their own hearts to say we need to do this, but people are not at that place.
Right.
People are full of fear, and they're afraid of what will happen if they take it. What does this mean? Is the government tricking us? There's all kinds of these things, and so we're unable to see the facts that are right in front of us. How many people are dying? You just gave the numbers to me last night of how many people died because of AIDS.
700,000 people since 1981 have died of the AIDS epidemic.
How many?
700,000 since 1981. So
Right.
This is well before you and I have been born.
Right, and then there's more than that. Was it 728,000?
Mid 2020 to now, we've had 788,000 people die of COVID.
So the numbers, less years, more deaths
Yeah.
for COVID than there was with AIDS, and we saw how people reacted to the AIDS epidemic. That people were terrified, and people were ready to do what they needed to do to. But here we have this, and
But the
everybody's
thing
like,
is,
"Oh, it's just a common
We
cold."
didn't have Facebook.
Oh God,
And
you're
you didn't
right.
have websites like WeKnowTheTruth.org where completely uncredentialed people
Oh, yeah.
could come up with the most ridiculous. See,
Right.
and that's the
Oh,
other side
man.
of mob rule, where it's like, during the election, we've got a channel, Middle America, and we've got a Facebook portal, Middle America.
Yep.
And we tested this. Anything that was against a Democrat was immediately an establishment Democrat. So
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg,
Yep.
Biden,
pretty
and
weird, yeah.
and Kamala.
Yep.
If you said anything negative about them, Facebook would take it down, and then they would put us on a 30-day basically mini suspension where you had to approve literally every single post as a moderator, which if we didn't have 58,000 moderators, it would have been a death sentence to our channel. Literally every post, even if you wanted to say hello, have a great day, they would block it. And so you would have to
That's
approve
really
it.
cool that you had enough moderators.
Yeah, we had enough
keep
moderators to where,
afloat. That's
we
really
had
cool.
one of them's in here right now.
That's awesome.
So we had enough moderators to where
Thanks, Melvin.
it really didn't affect us because, we didn't let it affect us because
Yeah.
the moderators went and did it. But a lot of people were upset about it, especially my friends on the right, because everybody knew, like, I wasn't a fan of Joe Biden at all.
Right. Right.
At all.
Right.
And I said
Neither
it
was
constantly,
I.
and I'll say it again, that Trump was much better for black people than Biden was.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it was a really crazy thing to behold. But at the same time, I'm not mad at Facebook for doing what they did. Number one, it's their platform.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is their platform. It's not my platform. I'm a guest on their platform. I'm a guest on Facebook. It's
Right.
not my platform.
Right. Yeah.
But simultaneous to that, how would you feel if you genuinely believed that you had a party to electing Hitler or unleashing Hitler in the United States? That's how these people think of Trump.
Yeah.
Whether they're right or wrong, whatever, that's not the purpose of this discussion. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is they genuinely believed that Trump was an existential threat to the world. And they genuinely believed Biden was the solution, which makes absolutely no sense because when you talk about fascism, Biden was there with the whole Verizon scandal, where Biden was there during the whole Edward Snowden scandal. He was there. It wasn't a Republican president during that period. It was Biden and those boys. Biden was there when Obama was being called the deporter in chief. Biden was there when the cages were being constructed. And as we know now, Biden is worse for immigrants and is less tolerable for immigrants than
Yep.
Trump was.
Yep.
So, but aside from that, they truly believed that Trump was an existential threat. And they truly believed that they had a hand in getting him elected because
Yep.
of these
Yeah.
the Russian collusion, Russia. And this broad is still talking about Russia.
Who, Maddow?
Yeah.
Come on. Stop, lady.
So
please.
my point is, if you believed that you were a party to getting Hitler elected,
Yeah.
you're gonna run interference for that shit the next time. I completely understand that. And people are going crazy. And it's the same thing with Twitter. They got rid of Trump, and people are like, oh, And then Amazon got rid of, Amazon wouldn't dedicate their super service to Parler. Man, I get it. I understand. You know, and it's so funny because the same people are like, well, let the free market work. You know, when gay people couldn't buy cakes, they're like, well, go to a gay bakery. Okay, so if Amazon shuts down its servers for Parler, go to another one then, since it's that simple. Oh, it's not that simple. But like, my point is, I understood what they were doing. I don't think they did it for bad motives. It's just social media is the ultimate in mob rule. It's we've never experienced something like this in human history, and I do not believe collectively that we're mature enough to even be able to manage something like social media. And so now you've got people who are completely uncredentialed going up against virologists and
that's my issue is
but then you've got thousands of people believing it.
Yeah, well, we used to have, like, generationally speaking, there's more and more loss of authority, it seems, over the years. Like, the way that my grandparents viewed authority, the way that my parents viewed authority, the way that I do, and the way that my children do. Like, it's completely different. Like, you know, our generation of kids is like, question friggin' everything. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. But at the same time, there's also like bunches of people out there just putting their opinion on. It's weird because they have no authority to be speaking on the topic, but they speak about it like they know. Like,
well, I've got a friend, speaking of Black Hawk Down, that participated in the Battle of the Black Sea.
Yep.
And he recently lost his wife to COVID.
Yeah.
And you see the progression of his Facebook feed.
Yeah.
And it's all this anti-vax, all this craziness. And then his girl gets hit with it.
Yeah.
They both got hit with it. They were both on respirators. He made it out. She didn't. And so you see him with his mask. I
didn't know they both had it.
Yeah. His mom was praying. She's like, please pray for so-and-so and so-and-so. And you see him taking pictures with his mask, you know, because, you know, they won't let him see his, you know what I'm saying? And then I know for a fact that he got vaccinated.
Right.
And it's like, and I am so angry at him. I cannot tell you how furious I am at him. They got a 10-year-old daughter.
I can't stop thinking about her.
They got a 10-year-old daughter, and that poor girl was in so much denial. She's like, it's okay, Mom, you're going to be all right, blah, 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 blah.
She said, I know Mom's coming back home.
I know Mom's coming back home. No, she's not. She's dead. So that's my thing. My thing is, if I was in control of Facebook, I wouldn't let any of this crazy anti-vaxxer shit go. No, you're out, bro. You're out. And, like...
I wouldn't either. I would shut stuff down, too.
Look, my thing has always been... Are you credentialed? Anybody can start a website. Are you credentialed? Do you have years and years of demonstrable excellence and expertise in this particular topic? So somebody I was going back and forth with a villager one time about COVID or whatever, because there was more misinformation and disinformation. And now the next thing that these people are saying is more people have died from taking the COVID shot than died of COVID. That's untrue.
Are you kidding me?
It's untrue. My man was saying that shit.
No.
Before his wife died. And like, so one of them says, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I have a modified view of this that doesn't agree with either one of you. Here's this doctor. Here's his bona fides. The guy was like, what's his face? Bill Gates is like second in command. And I know people have all their crazy theories about Bill Gates, and whether I agree with his agenda or not, I say to myself, okay, this guy's he's an actual doctor. He's been in the practice for 28 years, and he's got the confidence of Bill Gates. Whether Bill Gates is Thanos or not, I don't care. That says to me, okay, I want to hear what this guy has to say. He had a modified view of the vaccinations.
Oh.
And I'm oversimplifying it because this guy's massively brilliant. He had all these things about, dipeptides or whatever. But he was basically saying that for actual immunity or actual herd immunity, it's bad to vaccinate people in the prime of their health, like people like me and you, people that go to the gym, people that, whatever, and, can do exercises in a sauna. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says it's bad to vaccinate those people. And then, because I forgot how he argued it, but he basically, it was a brilliant, it made sense to me, his solution. And he's like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Like, all my kids are vaccinated as far as polio, mumps, measles, whatever. But he was like, we shouldn't vaccinate. We should leave those people to natural immunity. So people like me and you. And then he said, the people in the danger zone with the comorbidities, massively overweight, cancer, all those things, those people should be vaccinated. And so those people should have massive, quarantine, isolation, make sure that they don't get sick. But then the rest of them, and it was a thought out perspective from a guy who knew what the hell he was talking about. And it wasn't all this rah extra. And so I modified my position based on what he said. It's the reason that the kids aren't vaccinated right now. So I understood the guy's point. It made a lot of sense, and I modified my position. But what happens is you get Jeffrey from his basement, and he's got this entire, he's got all the...
Why anybody is listening to him is mind-blowing.
It's mind-boggling to me.
Like, why? How are you going to just listen to anything that's out there? Why aren't you going to go to credible sources? This doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
We've never done this before. Well, let's ask the 5-year-old what he thinks. I mean, come on. We don't know anything. We haven't studied this. This hasn't been our expertise. But all of a sudden, we're willing to listen to what somebody who has inferior knowledge on a particular topic. Why are you going to listen to them?
Correct.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Correct. And then there's this, and I'm just going to address it. If you believe you're saved, then what would there be to fear if you believe? There's one time the devil took Jesus up to the top of the temple, and he says, if you're the Son of God, throw yourself down. And then he quoted Psalm 91. The devil actually quoted the Bible. He says, because he'll command your angels concerning you so that your foot won't even touch a stone. Mm-hmm. So the devil says to Jesus, jump off, because the Bible says you're not going to stub your toe. You know how Jesus responded? You shall not put the Lord your God to the test. Mm-hmm. Yahweh is not some circus animal that's supposed to jump through my hoops.
Right.
Yahweh is a father who looks down at humanity and says, I've given you guys wisdom. Go exercise dominion. Mm-hmm. So, God expects us to walk in the world in such a way that blesses people. Mm-hmm. Like the primary mission of the people of God is to bless people on the earth. So I can't say, oh, I'm safe, so I'm not going to be afraid, and then communicate a potentially fatal disease to my unhealthy neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay? So the mission of the people of God is to be a blessing. And from a biblical perspective, life is the ultimate blessing. Mm-hmm. In him was life. So the point is, I'm not going to do something. My issue with COVID, I'm not afraid of COVID. I think I'm a pretty healthy guy.
Yeah.
I think that if you can...
And our family's healthy.
You can do a plank for 2 minutes. After 40 minutes in a sauna, you're going to be okay.
In the sauna.
You know how to suffer, right? Like, I'm not... What I'm worried about is, no disrespect to Maine, but Maine is a sedentary state, meaning it's cold most of the year. People are mostly inside and they're not moving around. As such, there's a massive obesity problem in this state, and I don't want to communicate a potentially fatal disease to morbidly obese people who do not stand a chance.
I agree.
Because if you're in the 45, 60 range and you're morbidly obese and you get COVID and you're not vaccinated, you're in a lot of freaking trouble. A lot. Yeah. Those people are in more trouble than a 65-year-old.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, which is very interesting. So it's not about, and this is the other thing. I'm not saying you're saying this, Juan, but this is the other thing. They say, oh, this is all this fear. It's like, no, it's wisdom. You buckle your seatbelt. You lock your doors. Yeah. You do wise things. If you went on an African safari, you're not going to jump the gate and go off into the wilderness yourself, because there's lions and leopards and shit, and God gave you a brain, right? So my point is about, but what happens is that these things become memes. The memes get cycled, and instead of people saying that's Jeffrey in his basement, they're going, and then entire movements get birthed out of this shit, and it's literally unfalsifiable.
It's just unbelievable.
You'll be like, well, this happened. It
doesn't matter.
It all becomes part of the conspiracy.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit. Like, what? It's like, what in the world? Like, I understand, like, for example, 9/11, right? I get it. I understand why a person would have conspiracy theories about 9/11.
Yeah.
It just came out basically that our government participated in the assassination of Malcolm X. So if you completely trust the government, you haven't been paying attention. However, that does not mean that you trust WeKnowTheTruth.org.
Oh, my word.
And with all that stuff either. Shout out to Goffman, by the way. That doesn't mean that you then swing the other way and believe every psychopath down there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this song is like almost prophetic, for God's sake. But shout out to
Oh
Tony.
my gosh, that's true. It's 1981.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Tony Iommi for killing shit on guitar.
Oh yeah.
That's I mean, the guy, I don't know what else to say.
I thought this verse was interesting. Break the circle and stop the movement. The wheel is thrown to the ground. Just remember, it might start rolling and take you right back around.
Yeah.
So we always have to be on guard for that sort of thing. How, you know, these silly ideas that lead people into making all these decisions that are affecting so many of us. And like you said, anytime that we block out why we've come a long way too.
Hold on, JF. That's not true. Ivermectin is not a one-day cure for all people. Please stop saying that. That's warning number one. Here's this. Let's do this. JF, don't comment on COVID unless you have an actual document to refer to. If you want to talk about the Illuminati and all this stuff, man, that's fine. But unless you have actual documentation that states that ivermectin is a one-day cure for everybody, please note that I didn't say it was horse dewormer. I didn't say that. So let's not go there. But if you believe that, get me a credentialed virologist who agrees with that statement. If you can't, then please don't say those things. And if you do it again, you're out. And you won't be able to complain and say that you're a victim or you're a martyr for the truth, because I gave you an opportunity to change everybody's mind by showing us actual credentialed people who agree with that statement.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, the mom rules. It's both sides. There's moms on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In our country,
yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Rittenhouse situation. There's a complete mob of people.
Yeah.
Who I'm like, do you have eyes? They wanted to penalize the kid for not dying that night. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I asked the black guy, I said, okay, so if a mob of white dudes are running around chasing an 18-year-old boy, a 17-year-old boy, saying, we're going to kill you, nigger. And the kid turns around and says, listen, I've got I got the thing on me. Mm-hmm. Leave me alone. And they still say, fuck you, we're going to kill you, nigger. And he turns around and puts him on the ground. You want that guy in jail forever?
No.
Stop it.
Yeah.
But it's, again, this mob rule. And then you got people like LeBron James.
Yep.
Who knows how much influence he has, talking about it's crocodile tears and all the rest of it, or talking about that other cop and saying, you're going to be next and all this shit. What the fuck do you mean, LeBron, he's going to be next? So what if some psychopath saw your tweet, LeBron?
Right.
And went off and blasted that cop who did nothing wrong? Who, by the way, this is the cop who the girl had the knife and she was going after the other girl. And so the cop put her down before she could kill. And right before she went after the girl, she said, I'm going to kill you, bitch.
Yeah, jeez.
The girl literally said, I'm going to kill you, bitch. Brandished a knife and went after the girl. And the cop put her down. Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what LeBron would want to happen if somebody was going after his kids. I don't care if white, yellow, red, purple, Martian, American, Indonesian, whatever. You would want that, LeBron. And you'd want a cop to do that for your kid. But here you are on Twitter talking about you're next.
Which player was it that went and stood out by the bus stop because he was going to go fight somebody?
Carmelo.
Oh,
Carmelo. Kevin Garnett was talking that shit.
That's right.
And Carmelo's from where I'm from.
Right.
So Carmelo was like, I'll see you, nigga. But like, again, it's this mob rules thing, right? And nobody, if that cop would have been killed, nobody in LeBron's mob would have held him accountable. Just like Trump's mob. They'll never hold him accountable.
Yep.
Never.
Right.
They won't hold him accountable for January 6th. To this day, I say, look, the Republican governor of Virginia was calling Trump while the insurrection was happening. The Republican governor of Virginia was saying, please let us send the National Guard. He didn't get a response for an hour and a half. Why are none of you talking about that?
Right.
See, none of these mobs want to hold their leaders accountable. They won't do it. I asked one of these people, I said, so let me get this straight. If this was Barack Obama and it was a bunch of brown people yelling Allahu Akbar and Obama wouldn't pick up the phone for an hour and a half, you'd let that slide? Answer the question. He refused to answer the question. So none of these mobs are going to hold their mob bosses accountable. But they can see it clearly when it's the mob boss on the other side.
Yeah.
But when it's their side, they can't see it or they refuse to see it. The guy just said, I'm not going to answer that question. Because we know.
Yep.
We know what would happen.
Exactly.
We know. So anyway,
Wow.
prophetic song. Really, really, really,
Unbelievable.
really good song. I loved it.
I love the sound of it too. It's a 9.8 for me.
I'm going to have to give this a 10 because of its societal relevance at this
Shoot.
point.
Okay, I could bump it. I'll bump it to a 10.
Really, really good. So shout out to everybody.
You're right, the
Shout out to
societal
everybody.
relevance.
Shout out to JF. Shout out to everybody trying to make it through. I get it, y'all. Trust me. I get it. But look, if we just say to ourselves, let's focus on telling the truth the best that we possibly can, and let's focus on being the most informed that we possibly can.
Yep.
We can make it out.
Yep.
But what we cannot do is depend on LeBron or Trump or whatever to lead us through. We've got to apply some real raw grassroots democracy, because anybody who's major in the media right now has failed us. Either A, because they're fucking crazy like LeBron or Trump, or B, they're too afraid.
Yep.
Because they don't want their side to turn against them, because they know their side will turn against them.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
there's that. And Seven said it. That's true about the Virginia governor calling for the National Guard. And Pelosi was warned January 5th and didn't boost up Capitol Police forces. Yeah, Pelosi's not the commander-in-chief. Right? Mm-hmm. Trump's the commander-in-chief. So I'm going to hold him singularly accountable for that. But I'm with you. I get you for sure. Okay. Having said that, dear listener, we still got more metal on the way for you beautiful people. Vin out.
Sori out.
Go. All right, guys, we're going to go right into the next. Is that the Joan Jett joint?
Yep.
No, I think it's...
Bad reputation.
Is that the next one?
Yeah.
Joan Jett. What's the name of the song?
Bad Reputation.
Joan Jett. Next, guys. Stand by. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Soraya has returned.
I have. Supper is going well.
All right, so we have this is the big homie Chris Culp with the other big homies in the wonderful alliance known as
Sin and Glory.
Sin and Glory.
Yep.
They're badasses.
Yep. Next up on their live stream tonight is Joan Jett.
Joan
Bad
Jett.
Reputation.
Yes, it's gonna be great. Joan Jett.
I'm sure it was a feeling that many women of that time felt. This is 1980. Like, once you got a bad reputation in that time period.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you
a
done.
wrap.
You done. What's for supper?
Oh, he wanted oxtail, so I tried a recipe a little bit differently, and then I did the oxtail and I threw some other meat in there so the kids can have that, because they wanted to have it too. But holy shit, it was $60 just for that oxtail, which is really insane.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos and AOC.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Joan Jett, Bad Reputation, and I'm with you, Kathy, 100%. Let's go.
Oh! Yes! Okay.
Yo.
I love this song.
I have to have. I'm certain I heard this song Guitar Hero.
Both of us have heard this song years ago. One, you're right. It was on Guitar Hero.
I knew it.
It was also on Shrek. And I
What?
saw, yeah, I knew it was super familiar. I looked it out. Turns out it's it's on Shrek right there. Shrek, Bad Reputation. And there's two parts. One was that Hallelujah song when David played Before the Lord.
Oh yeah,
that one, and I can't remember who sings it, but there's I can't think of it right now. He had a bald head. He's in the metal world. I think he ended up passing away too. Anyway, they did a tribute to one of the metal guys that had passed away, and him and his daughter did it together, and it was just incredible, the Hallelujah one. But this was the other song, Bad
that
Reputation.
Was Chris Cornell. No, that was Chester.
Yes.
singing with Chris Cornell's daughter.
Yes.
For Chris Cornell.
That's what I was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It was, but unbelievable. It's emotion packed, and on top of that, just the song itself, I've always liked. But anyway, I learned both those songs from Shrek, so I remember watching the credits after Shrek to get the Hallelujah song, and then but Bad Reputation, I never.
It's so funny.
But I liked it.
It's so funny because she's like, "Look, it's a new generation. We're in the '80s." But then
No.
when you looked at the date, you're like, "Holy
Oh
shit!"
no,
she
no,
did this
she was in the 80s.
As if it's changed for women. I really don't feel like that's really changed much for women, to be honest.
Well,
with you.
I think it has and it hasn't. I was talking to a woman that said when her parents had gotten divorced. Now, she was like 101 years old, like last year or something. So this is 100 years ago. She said that when she was a child, because her parents got divorced, in the town, she was looked down upon like as though her mother was a prostitute, and people would literally cross the street so they wouldn't even have to pass her on the sidewalk. And she was a little girl.
Because they got divorced?
Because her parents got divorced, yep.
Wait a second. How old is this? Is 100 years ago?
It was 100 years ago. Yeah, she was like 102 or 101, something like that. Not insane? Like a little girl, you're going to cross the street.
Yeah,
and she said like everywhere she went, there was like that. That's not how it... I think that divorce maybe is more ubiquitous now. The percentage has gone up. I think that people had bad marriages and maybe some people should have gotten out of those relationships. They probably would have survived. But then there are other people that I think just stuck it out because the day and age that it was, even though it wasn't good. Where now people are more like, well, I wasn't happy, so you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, what's her face? Adele.
Yeah, right.
I didn't do anything to her.
Honestly, I can't even enjoy her music now. Isn't that crazy?
Adele's whole thing was about being the jilted lover. She was the jilted lover in her first.
Right.
And
that's why I loved her stuff.
Now that she got famous and got rich friends and lost weight, now she was just like, yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah.
But I think when I say I don't think that's changed, it's because in the main, Adele is an exception. She's a quadrillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
What's her face? Who's a rapper girl? Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
I mean, her name is Minaj, for God's sake. So I do think that women can kind of...
I don't even know what the word Minaj means.
It's don't look it up. Leave it, because Dorian's got to work on that computer at times, so just leave it.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain to you later. But, like, I still think, though, that if a woman takes command of her sexuality in the way that men do, the whore-player dynamic is still at work.
Okay.
In other words, I still think, like, for example, like around here, there was some girl that did XYZ, and everybody knew about it, and she was a hoe, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But if a guy did that, he would be celebrated by all the guys.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that dynamic is still at play. And I don't think, I'm not sure that's ever going to change, because, at least in the Western world, because societies are always going to be run by men. And shame is a cultural code that's designed to control behavior.
Yeah. Yes.
And so,
yeah.
it's a methodology. You encourage what you want to reproduce, and you shame what you want to eliminate. So, guys are encouraged to go around and do whatever with whoever, whatever, because there's a mutual benefit for guys to celebrate that in other guys, but there's also a massive benefit for guys to shame girls for taking part in it, and that is that keeps your girl at home, so that you won't have to deal with the shame of a girl who runs off on you, or a daughter who has a reputation in the city. So I still feel like women still have to contend with that, and I'm not very hopeful that that's ever going to change, as a whole in society.
I agree with that. I mean, I even think people didn't cross the sidewalk because I got divorced, but they did treat me differently afterwards. And there was someone that I rarely ever messaged this person, but after I went through my divorce, somebody came to me and said this. It was very weird that even somebody else came and brought me this information, but somebody else came to me and said, hey, don't message that person because his wife is uncomfortable with it because now you're a divorced woman. And I'm like, okay, what is that?
I just
like
think
a
that
scarlet
that's Christian subculture, though. That's not.
Yeah, right.
That's Christian subculture.
Right.
And that's a very specific.
So you don't think that would be like that in other circles?
No, not to that degree.
Oh no, not to that degree. But I think that people internally,
when we move, you're gonna see this culture up here.
Toxic,
I'm not talking about Maine.
Toxic AF.
I'm not talking about Maine. I'm talking about the specific culture that Sori grew up in. Is backwards as fuck.
Right.
I mean, it's like.
Yeah.
That's not how it is, but yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, divorce is always ugly, and people are always gonna, whatever. But, and then social media adds a whole other, thing to it. That's why I told the homie. He said something, and I said, listen, say whatever you have to say on Facebook or whatever. Just don't let me catch you in traffic. Like, don't ever let me see you. And he did.
Did he say what he wanted to say?
No, that's after he said what he said.
Oh.
After that, after I said that to him, he didn't say anything after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy who I saw, around pretty frequently, but he made sure to make himself scarce.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna litigate, anything on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I'm not that type of individual. Mm-hmm. So, and you can't really, it's their right. They can post whatever they want. They say whatever they want. It's just. Say to my wife, you're playing with your life. Just keep it on social.
Vinegar postal.
That's where that came from.
Yeah.
I didn't say
yeah. No, I knew that.
What I'm saying? So,
I knew that absolutely. Yeah.
And if our daughters decided that they were going to experiment sexuality or enjoy and jump in and all that, and people were saying all kind of reckless shit, I'd say, yeah, man, just do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, like when guys are trying to guide their daughters about sexuality, it's not really about them. The daughter, it's about, I don't want you to bring shame to me. Mm-hmm. Because I will be ashamed of you if you have multiple sexual partners. Right. I will be ashamed if everybody's saying, your daughter's a hoe or whatever, whatever. And so, for me, I've already determined, like, once I knew I was having a girl, I'm like, I'm going to get her back 1,000,000,000%. I don't care. And I'm not going to let anybody... ever go after her for that, and
and they know it. The girls know it.
At the same time, I want the girls to take care of themselves, obviously. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very hard life, because even though I'm that kind of a parent, I'm the exception. I'm not the rule when it comes to men, especially in the black community. So obviously, I want them STD free, and I don't want them to have a child until they have a structure and a system ready and all that. Of course not. But what I'm talking about is, I don't even know.
But if they did get pregnant, we would love and support that baby and them completely.
What do you mean? It'd be a celebration if they got pregnant. But, like, I'm not sure, like, how many girls are having those conversations with their dads. Mm-hmm. And the same thing, too, is, like, women kind of, I'll let you speak on this, but women kind of perpetuate the same thing to other women. Like, women have bought into a lot of this bullshit, and they're terrified of being labeled something by, the society or whatever. Yeah. And so they impose that on their daughters. Yeah. Wasn't it like your brother was able to go off and do whatever he wanted, but like they were just like,
Yeah. They, they wanted to know what was going on with us, where we were, where are we going, what are we doing, how long are we going to be there, when are we coming home? All that stuff had to be communicated. And we had to be where we said we were going to be. But then they wouldn't even ask the questions to my brother. I was like, what? How does this rate? But he was 4 years younger than me. So by the time I realized that was in action, I was already gone to college. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was basically like, I still said, what? How come you guys aren't checking up on them? And more or less it was, well, it's a boy. And with the girls, you have to worry about the girls. But with the boys, you don't have to worry about the boys. Which that doesn't make any sense unless that theory is... I thought he meant like...
So did they think he was gay?
No. He was with his girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought that what they meant was a girl, something bad could happen to her if they didn't know where she was. Where he's a boy, he'll be safe. And maybe that is what they meant, but still at the same time.
Yeah. When do you get the song?
Interesting. Oh, this one's a 10 for me. I loved this one. And I've loved it since I saw that little snippet in Shrek. Plus, I'm pretty sure he was wrecking shop when it was playing. And when I heard the song, of course, I was not somebody that would like curse. because I was above that. But when I heard the song on Shrek, they left the curse in there, and I liked that she was saying, because she
Damn.
doesn't just say,
Which is like
I don't
literally
care
the
about my
most innocuous
reputation.
curse of all time.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna put that. So anyway, I know that sounds childish, but that's exactly how I
What
felt
did you
about
give it?
I gave it a 10 already. What are you giving it?
This is the first and only time
Uh-oh.
this rating has been given.
Uh-oh.
In the history of Vin and Sori.
Okay.
So, we rated a song as an Omega rating one time.
Yeah.
We're going to have to rate this song as a classic. This is, to me, this is the classic rock song about female empowerment. So I have to rate this classic. Now, I'm not very familiar with this young lady.
It's a 10 classic.
Miss Jett.
For me.
But I feel like this is probably the song.
Yeah, I feel like we would get along.
Who, you and Miss Jett?
I'd be like, now how did you start on this journey of not caring a damn about your reputation? Did you wreck your reputation first? Or did you just have this idea? And then
She didn't wreck her reputation.
You see what I'm saying, though?
They did. They
did.
tried.
But she did the societal things that caused them to be like, hey,
They tried, and she
a girl
said,
can do what she wants to do.
She said,
and
"Motherfuck
that's what
all of
I'm
you.
going to do.
Motherfuck them all." That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Yep.
That's why it's a classic, and
Yep.
that's why the song is still works to this day. This came out subhanAllah 1980. Good Lord. But yeah, Joan Jett gets a classic rating here because I feel like she has encapsulated.
It's been on Freaks and Geeks, Jessica Jones, movie 10 Things I Hate About You, Shrek, Kick-Ass, Easy A, and The Duff, video game Rock Band 2, and the current theme of WW...
Ronda Rousey.
Yep, Superstar Ronda Rousey,
Yeah,
and many
yeah.
others. That's so crazy. This song has been used everywhere. I agree. It's classic. It's very good.
This is a classic rating, and I'm
and
sorry.
I'm very glad you guys brought it because
but
you brought
it's
this
the one
song
and
back
only
to my
classic.
attention.
It's the one and only classic rating.
Attention.
We got a song that got
I
an
think
Omega
classic
rating.
is such a weird
There's never
word
going to
for
be
it.
another Omega rating. There's never going to be another classic rating. This is classic. Hails to Joan Jett. Shout out to her. Shout out to all the women everywhere.
Yep.
Fuck them all, literally and figuratively.
Yep, smoke them if you
Well,
got
not
them.
all.
Let's go.
Not all, but you understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. Having said that, dear listener,
Ozzy
we have another
Osbourne is
song
up
on the way.
next.
If you're in the live stream,
Don't
if you're
go
not in the
anywhere.
live stream, I'm sorry for you. You're going to have to check us out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Having said that, dear listener,
We'll be right back.
Vin
How
out.
they used to do it?
Yeah.
Sorry out.
Gone. You know how we used to say Vin out, sorry out, gone?
Yeah, but I just wanted to...
Bro, we've done that like over 2,500 times. You
I know.
realize that?
I couldn't remember how to do it at first.
Oh, I
It
know.
took so long. And then it was stressing me out because I'm like, wow, I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
wanted
like
me
a
to
complete
practice
idiot.
with you? I say, I'm sorry, I'm not practicing this with you. What the fuck? We're not practicing this shit. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh man, I was so nervous when we first were doing it. It's so crazy. Anyway, Ozzy Osbourne, Shot in the Dark.
And don't worry, guys, it is not going to get banned.
Oh yeah, you must have talked to Culpy about this one. I see it says official.
Yeah. Me and Culpy already had that discussion.
All right,
We're
good thing. Good thing.
We shall return. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes.
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinindsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that
can
off.
also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee,
Can't
a
guarantee
positive
you
review.
A positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
Speaking of child, if you have a child, dear listener, we've got a TikTok. It's called the Fuji Bear Official, Fuji's World, whatever it is. And it's featuring little Orion, and it's a pretty good thing if I do say so myself.
Yep, it's just begun. Check it out. Let your little guys and little gals check it out. We've
got some other really cool stuff featuring the homie coming down the pike pretty soon here.
Be in the know.
Yeah. Shout out to Germany.
Okay, so we're doing a Sin and Glory live stream.
Yes, sir. As you can see right there, Sin and Glory.
Sin
Hail
and Glory.
Kopi.
Yeah, you want to blame us and say, don't talk about religion. This has nothing to do with our religion. This has to do with the name that they picked for their group.
Correct.
Sin and Glory. And they are influencing our song list. In fact, they are picking our songs for the entire stream tonight. This is the next one on the list is Ozzy Osbourne.
I gotta say, every single selection has been a banger.
A banger.
The fascists of YouTube tried to shut us down. We didn't let it get us down.
Boom, boom, boom.
We stayed here the whole time. We operated without.
Yep.
They were about nothing. Okay, guys.
Up next is Ozzy Osbourne, Shot in the Dark. So,
Shot in the Dark. Do me a favor.
We're going to take a shot in the dark, and hopefully this doesn't get blocked.
Do me a favor. Hit that.
Yep.
Because we're going to watch. No. Hit the link.
Oh, I will. I know.
Because we got to watch a YouTube video on the side.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So we're going to watch it on the side, and then you beautiful people, we're going to provide the link in the description.
This video,
for the official
literally
video.
just started when I clicked on it. That cop driving in the driver's seat. I think my hair looks about like hers.
Cop? That's a cop? That's a kid. That's a kid being cool.
I thought it was a cop lady.
Jake Lee on the 6-string. I'm assuming that's a 6-string.
Here we go, guys.
That's a 6-string bass.
I'm very excited about this. Ozzy Osbourne.
It's a 6-string bass. You know, like some bands have bass players that do bass
work really
lines.
hard. He's been working really hard.
Yeah, he has. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Seven to get her. All right, here we go. Shot in the Dark.
Honestly,
let's do it.
it inspired me. I've been practicing a lot on the song. Okay, let's go.
All right, Shot in the Dark. Let's go. Every 2 seconds, I'm like, we should cover that song. We should cover that song. We should cover that song. We should cover that song.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Ha! I told you guys, no fear. We didn't get banned, bitches.
And we were watching. I like had my eye on that lyric, not the lyric video, the official video the entire time. I loved it. You know what? I did. Like, I recently realized this, like, throughout our time with the channel, is I love the 80s. I love the look of the 80s. The feel of the 80s, the clothes that they wore, the hairstyles were, like, the same. Because it was like, this is what is cool.
Yeah, they
and
were
then
horrible.
Everybody was doing it. And the
they
same
were horrible, but they rocked that shit with conviction.
Right, yeah.
They rocked that shit with conviction, bro.
I think, to me, the 80s always, we couldn't really necessarily be a part of it, but we were able to see the 80s, because in Maine, everything's kind of delayed. So I think when the 90s,
delayed.
I think
they're just now getting shot in the dark. Just now, they just played at the radio station.
Oh,
I don't know. Sometimes when I'm at the gym, they're playing all this old shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're delayed. So, like, I think when the 90s were happening, we were celebrating the 80s as far as, like, clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find that, too, that it's slower here? Like, the styles.
I'm from New York, so.
Yeah, but haven't you heard people saying words that you're like, we said that a long.
Oh, I know.
And they're saying it like they think it's cool now.
Yeah, especially when the white boys discovered 50 Cent out here. They were saying all types of crazy shit. Like, wait, what?
What?
You ain't seen that shit in years.
Oh, no. So anyway, when I'm watching this and I'm watching all the different things that they're wearing, and I always like stuff that's asymmetrical.
Yeah.
I realize now, did you see on his microphone the way that cloth was?
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. My mother used to have these asymmetrical earrings, and I remember every time my mom wore those earrings, her makeup and her hair and her outfit was on point. And so to me, those earrings were the epitome of beauty. So I think that's why I like that shape, which came from the 80s. So definitely I'm an 80s girl. And wow, this was... I wasn't...
Actually, I don't know. This might not be a bad idea.
I would love that.
And
what
the
idea.
makeup of the 80s too was kind of crazy as well. Like,
oh yes,
over much.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but the 80s had that sound. Like, yeah, I wish. I came up in the 90s.
How could you do that without cutting your hair though? You wear a wig.
Yeah, in the 90s we had the grunge. Everybody was miserable and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I didn't even listen to music in the 90s because that wasn't rap. Mm-hmm. Because it was just, it was Kurt and his flannel, and it was what's that other band? The other band, actually, the one that did 10.
Pearl
Jam. It was homeboy and his flannel. Everybody's miserable, and these guys. But if we'd have came up during this time, like, we'd have had so much fun, bro. Can you imagine going to like a house party with this song going on? Shot in the dark.
Yeah. Hey, keep your eye out for 80s night. So if you have an 80s song,
you want to go in the back and make out. You know what I'm saying?
If you have an 80s song that you want to get onto the stream, we'll set it up. It'll be limited on spots. How many people will be able to do it? It'll probably only be between 4 and 8 people, and then we'll do an 80s night. That would be great. Yeah. So be on the look out for that if you're interested in doing it.
Maybe we can get our chairman to organize it. Maybe like there's already 80 songs picked and shit, and so maybe he can work with whatever. But
we'll see.
Men actually use more hairspray than women.
Oh, there was a lot of hairspray back then. And I'm pretty sure that's why what's his face got lit on fire, right?
Who?
Wasn't it Michael Jackson or something? Jackson, he had all that hair like that, and I think that's what happened on that commercial.
Yeah, he was heavily. He had mad product in his hair, bro. That dude was.
It was
shout
so.
out to the homie.
Pretty sure I laughed way too hard when I saw that, which was so terrible. Thinking, he survived it. So.
You're one of those people.
I am.
You're one of those people, man.
Look at that person's demise.
Look at his pain and suffering.
Well, we were raised on that slapstick humor. We were allowed to watch that.
That's true. That's true. Shot through the
Okay, so what are the lyrics here? Out on the streets, I'm stalking the night. I can hear my heavy breathing. Paid for the kill, but it doesn't seem right. Something there I can't believe in. Voices are calling from inside my head.
I got it right here. I got the lyrics.
Okay.
On the streets, I'm stalking the night. I can hear my heavy breathing. Paid for the kill, but it doesn't seem right. Something there I can't believe in. Voices are calling from inside my head. I can hear them. Vanishing memories of things that were said. They can't try to hurt me now.
But a shot in the dark.
But a shot in the dark.
Always creeping up on you.
Oh, I've got
So,
the Mob Rules lyrics up here, not the Shot in the Dark lyrics. Hold on.
When you watch,
Shot in the dark.
yeah, I have Ozzy's up. When you watch the video, you know, it's this girl's leaving her, it looks like her grandmother's house or her mother's house.
Yeah.
And she's all made up, ready to go into the town. And then they go around in the town, and it doesn't seem like she's into it as much. She doesn't seem like she can really enter in. And then they're at that concert, and then something takes over her, and she becomes their mascot.
I'm not certain. Well, that mascot thingy
Was already there previously.
was very similar to what Iron Maiden does.
No, I'm talking about the girl at the end
No,
with
I'm
the
talking
eyes.
about the big monster
I
thing
totally
that they brought
agree.
out. I'm like, yo, you stole that from Maiden, my
I
guy. You took that from
wait a
Iron Maiden,
minute.
Ozzy, but it's okay because Iron Maiden took everything they know from Tony Iommi.
Right,
So what can you do?
Everybody borrows on everybody. But it all comes from the one original.
So look, I don't know. Like the thing is like some demon with Ozzy's face. We just watched Ghostbusters.
Did you see when he opened it and then he was inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just watched Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we did.
And that was an interesting one. But yeah, like the demon takes you over, and then you're kind of like half man, half demon.
Yeah.
One step away from you, just to shut.
Honestly, not to sound weird, but that's the feel of a concert, though. You get there, and you know, sometimes like the way that the bands are playing, it just sucks you right in. It just completely takes you over.
Oh yeah,
So,
I
with
I
her
can see
being like
that.
all kind of nervous and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it took over, and she was like in it so much, she was like a demon of theirs, and then became. It was. I don't know. I liked that depiction of, but I don't see the. You know, sometimes the video is completely different than the lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah. This might be one of those
I was gonna
one
say,
of those
I
scenarios.
believe that's what happened here.
Yeah. So
he's supposed to kill somebody, but he doesn't think it's and he's gonna literally take a shot in the dark. He feels like, or what?
one step away from you, just a shot in the dark, always creeping up on you. Okay. Taught by the powers that preach over me, I can hear their empty reasons. I wouldn't listen. I learned how to fight. I opened up my mind to treason. But just like the wounded, and when it's too late, they'll remember, they'll surrender. Never care for the people who hate, underestimate me now. So maybe it's like he was taught to do this. Maybe he was taught to be a hitman or a killer, whatever it is, soldier, whatever it is. And he's questioning it because he's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I should be doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, he finally questioned his authority structure, and now he's going to, you know, now he's not going to do the killing. Scroll down. Was that the end of the lyrics?
No, I don't think so.
And then it's, but a shot in the dark, one step away from you, shot in the dark. You know what else that the 80s people really did well was they did melody on choruses really well.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like an anthem almost a little. Like,
Yep.
And, like, it was very easy also to follow along. Because it's like, it's not very complex. It's like, you just wait and it's like,
right.
Shot in the dark. And then the guitar is just.
Yeah. Yeah. But very, very enjoyable.
Just like the wounded, and when it's too late, they'll remember, they'll surrender, never care for the people who hate, underestimate me now. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's like, yo, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm not going to kill these people. These are innocent people, damn it.
Yep. Well,
yeah, so I feel like that's, so the song isn't necessarily, the song and the video don't necessarily match.
Right.
But I will say this about the video. The video encompasses, I think, the spirit of the people who listen to that music.
Yeah.
Who listen to Ozzy's music.
Yep.
And who, I never had that, like, experience, man, where all your friends are in a car and like, hey, let's go party. Like, I never had that. Like, we never did that. One, because just New York, you're taking the train. And two, we didn't really like get together like that unless we were gonna, you know, we were on some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I feel like I never sat and worried about like, oh, I lost my childhood or anything like that. I never, but now, like, looking back, it'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If we moved to some nice, safe suburban little neighborhood in Florida, like, I'd love to like look out the window and see like Dorian hopping in the car with a bunch of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, going out and partying and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's an important time in your life to just. But I don't know. Maybe like, because you know what's interesting. You know, I talk about like, oh, and then Kurt Cobain, like, they showed up with the plaid and the flannel and they were upset about shit and, you know, they were all miserable. Like, they completely changed music. But my thing is, they came up in the 80s. So all that misery and shit came up during that time period. So maybe I'm just romanticizing it. Because maybe, but see, I know that I would not have been like an outsider who never got invited to parties. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you're the same way. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But it just seemed like a really fun time to be alive.
Yeah.
But then the music that was created out of that generation, it was kind of miserable. So maybe it wasn't as fun as we thought.
It's true. That's very interesting. Yeah. Huh.
But I feel like it would have been
we
fun.
did the driving, like we couldn't go to parties or anything, but there was times where we'd get a group of us. I always loved it when the car was filled to max capacity. That was my thing. Fill up every seat, and we would just drive around. We do dumb shit, like literally dumb, pointless. Let's drive to Walmart because they were open 24 hours. Let's go to LL Bean because they're open for 24 hours, you know?
Yeah, Walmart, legit. Walmart and LL Bean. That's what these kids did for entertainment. Well, like
and it was like, you know, walking through Walmart, making weird noises to your friends, making weird noises somewhere else. Or, you know what I mean? Like, nothing really super whatever. But we would get in the car and listen to music, too. That was
Sorry, go
fun.
ahead.
That was fun, getting in the music, getting in the car and listening to... And I didn't know, like, a lot about different types of music, so I basically just... I never said, hey, put this song on for me. Or I only did that once, a couple times with my friend Simon. But beyond that, when we all loaded up in the car, I just went with whatever everybody else is listening to. And the genres would jump around a little bit. Well, the interesting thing,
if you look at that video, if you look at that video, like... One girl's dressed up like a cop.
Yeah.
There was sort of an individuality about the 80s, too, where you were allowed to, be completely weird. Yeah, but if you look at the video, like, weird. The hairspray thing, that was you know what I'm saying? But, like, everybody kind of had their own individual little thing.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's kind of like, boop, bloop, 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 you know, conveyor belt. But it was...
Well, yeah, and I feel like the styles are so boring. I look at these kids out here, and I'm like, well, what boring... Like, there's no, you know, like I said, with the 80s, it was all bright, you know, like...
There was a clear gap.
You know, weird...
There was a clear gap. It looked to me like in the 80s that there was a clear gap between what kids were wearing and what adults were wearing.
Yep.
And now, like, Dorian can wear my clothes.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day...
How boring.
Back in the day, you used to be, like, ashamed to wear your parents' clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, like, it's just kind of like, you know, it's stylish, you know? I mean...
It's just not...
I mean, I've got more urban style than Dorian does, for God's sake. And Dorian, it was up to him. He'd had 3-piece suits and all that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, whatever.
I really liked it. The song is a 10 for me.
Oh, hands down.
Hands down a 10.
Hands down, yeah.
Really, I love the song. I get it. It's a little repetitive, the choruses, and it's a poppy song, but I don't care. Good music is good music.
The musical soul wants what the musical soul wants. We like this.
That's a very good modification, yeah, Rasulullah. Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the freaking Sin and Glory Alliance.
This amazing stream tonight. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of different songs on there, except for one that was given a 3 by...
You're horrible.
Anyway,
You're horrible.
So guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We've enjoyed it. You're gonna see a lot more regular kind of streams coming up. We've got a lot of them on the schedule.
Yeah, because
as of late,
we didn't get banned. We got blocked 2 days in a row. But we haven't been banned since, and we haven't had a copyright strike.
Right, we haven't been
copyright
banned.
Strike is the problem.
Booed, or what would be another B word we could put there?
Banished. Well, banned.
No, banned already takes care of it.
Banned is basically short for banished anyway.
Banned, booed, or
booted.
Booted.
Yeah.
I guess. Banned, booed, or booted.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. But booted and banned are kind of the same thing, but whatever. That's not happened to us. So you will see us tomorrow's
Active
Friday,
community,
right?
They expires 90 days after deleting the video. So it expires January 31st is when the thing...
that our strike... Our punishment, kind of rolls off. But yeah, so tomorrow night we have. Let me just pull this thing up here. Yikes!
Shot in the dark. See, sorry, I can't get it out of my head.
I know.
Now.
Yeah, it's going in the back of my head too. Okay, tomorrow is the 10th. Yes, it is. Tomorrow we have a love stream. Ooh, la la. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if any of you bitches want to get involved in the love stream, you got to be there.
Any of you bitches. Sounds like me.
I know, that's what I picture thumbnail that I made where you were like, let's go bitches or something like that, and I put or bitches music, and we're both on there. So anytime I say that, I always think of you. It's always like a little hat tip to Vinny.
There you are, dear listener. Having said that,
That's the end of Vita Zane.
Vin